Nutrition Authority. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Hog Wild's giant stuffed baked potatoes are anything but basic and really hit the spot when you're craving a little comfort food. Nothing is more satisfying than a Hog Wild baked potato loaded with butter, sour cream, cheddar cheese, bacon bits, and chives. Add your choice of a Hog Wild house smoked meat like pulled pork, chicken, or brisket for a little extra. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
The one and only Monster Jam. Big air, backflips, and all-out racing. See the world's best drivers tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks. The fun begins at the pit party, where you can meet the drivers, get autographs, take pictures, and see the trucks up close. Get your pit party pass at monsterjam.com today. Must have valid event ticket to enter pit party. Restrictions may apply. Rules and activities are subject to change. Visit website for event details. Coming to Pinnacle Bank Arena May 2nd and 3rd.
3, 2, 1. The drop is live. Screens freeze everywhere, except yours. You've been training for this moment. And with Aloe Fiber's zero-lag precision, you strike first. No lag, no limits, just speed. Can your internet provider do that? Stay ahead of every drop. Visit aloefiber.com/all-in.
93.7 The Ticket Sports News go now.
This is Rudy Gress IV with your Ticket Sports Update. First, around sports, Rory McIlroy just made history at the Masters, winning his second straight green jacket and going back-to-back at Augusta National. The win adds another major to his resume and continues one of the strongest runs in golf right now. Here's what's happening across Husker sports. Nebraska baseball dropped its weekend series against Oregon, but now turns quickly to a big in-state matchup. The Huskers host Creighton Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central at Haymarket Park, live on the Big Ten Network. Husker softball stays hot, sweeping Wisconsin for their 4th Big Ten Series sweep of the season. Softball is back on the road Friday at 6 p.m. Central against Minnesota, live on Big Ten Plus. On to the tennis courts. Nebraska women's tennis beats ranked Iowa at home and heads on the road this weekend, with their next match Friday at 6 p.m. Central against Wisconsin. On the men's side, Nebraska tennis looks to respond after a tough loss to Indiana, hosting Penn State Friday at 5 p.m. Central. For all the latest sports news and updates, keep it tuned right here to 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln, this is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln, Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Troy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score! Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black shirts answer the call one more time.
And Austin Orman. Hour 1 of Old School is sponsored by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yes, it is. Welcome in a beautiful Monday edition of Old School. Austin Orman and Jay Foreman with you. You can be a part of the show, 402-464-5685. Old School is always brought to you by Graham Tire Company. Let us know what's on your mind. Again, 402-464-5685. Masters, NBA playoffs, NFL draft, spring football headlines, Big Ten news. But, of course, Jay, the breaking news within the last half an hour or so, Nebraska men's basketball announces Pryce Sandfort has officially re-signed with the team. He's returning to Lincoln for his senior season.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was I think that I felt a little bit more secure about him coming back maybe than Frager. And so to get both of them back, your top two performers, coming on the team from last year, two guys that you needed to come back to, continue along and being successful as a basketball program. Now it's official. And now you've, obviously you got Ormy out of the portal. So you now you have a three-headed monster. You wish it could have been four with Burke, and you don't know what the I guess the indirect, obviously actions were based on what Burke, the talks were. But, to bring Pryce back, who made a huge jump, I think, for him personally, but then for the team, he was a big part of that. But also, I think what people don't give him enough credit for, and it's not necessarily about Pryce, but I think it gave, Nebraska, that, credibility and where you can go and I think Fred's always done a good job, especially after he made a change in like philosophy or they made a change in what they look for in a Husker. But I think where you have an eye for talent, where you're able to go get a guy from Iowa that primarily sat in the corner and scored, 8-9 points a game. Felt like he was underutilized and comes here and he has an expanded role and he didn't force anything. So I think it, gives, Fred and the company, obviously a lot of credibility as we've seen to go get Ormy, but then also I think obviously gave Pryce a lot of credibility because I'm pretty sure he was thinking it and probably telling the people, privately and probably felt, obviously throughout the Big Ten, he could do a lot more. So, it's great to have him back. I think he's a good kid, great, great leader, cool, calm, and collective. I think he's a quiet competitor, I don't really, obviously I don't know him, but I only go from what I watched a few games and watch just how he moves. I think he's a very competitive kid. That's what you want. And I think he does all the right things. And I think he's looking to get better too. And so I think it's a really good thing for not only, the basketball team, but for the whole athletic department and obviously the fan base as well.
Where can Pryce Sandfort get better for Nebraska next year? What's the next step in adding to his game?
Well, I think, with just looking at the three guys that they have now that we know for sure are going to start, right? Where you look at Frager, Pryce, Ormy. And this goes along with Frager. I think he handles the ball decently good right now. But I think I think you could add more to it. And what I mean by that, look, you ain't got to be doing like 85 dribbles, in and out dribbles, hesitation, side. You don't got to do all that. You don't got to be James Harden over it. We don't need any of that. Now, if you do it, great. But I think being able to handle the ball, take some pressure off of the, maybe primary ball handler, but then also set up the offense where you're actually, setting the offense and stirring the pot. The second would be, which we saw at home, the last home game, a little back to the basket game. And because I think that will open up his 3 game. You know what I'm saying? And I think I think he probably has it. They just haven't used it, except
it was the wrinkle against Iowa.
It was the wrinkle against Iowa. But I envision for him to continue to shoot the ball well. I think he has more mid-range game than people give him credit for. We saw that against Vanderbilt, and he has a lot of patience. So that means he's not an emotional player, right? And that's a great attribute to have, especially when you're going to come back as a leading scorer. And I think when you can add, being crafty on that block, it's another part of like this offense, where I talk about Sam Griesel, where you can stop runs. He's an excellent free throw shooter, a really good decision maker. You're adding to your game, but you're not stopping the progress of the team. Those are probably two. I mean, of course, defense and all that, but that's what everybody says. But nobody plays defense anymore. So because you can't.
Hey, tell that to Fred Hoiberg. That was the top 10 defensive efficiency team.
But you can't get up into guys like.
Tell that to Tyler Tanner.
Right.
Tell that to Iowa.
But that's just once or twice. You can't get up into guys like you talk about defense. When you look over there and you got like Vernon Maxwell looking at you, like back then, or Strick, where you know what I'm saying, where they're going to be checking. There's not much hand checking, so of course he could get better at some of the things that defensively. But I think when you talk about where Nebraska needs to go, and it's if everything holds true defensively, he's going to play a big part offensively. And so what can he do to create more offense, but then also create more offense for himself and others? And I think it's those two things. The better he gets off the bounce, right? The better open shots there for Frager and Ormy. Then it comes back to him. And then the more he can do below the free throw line is another part of the offense. And it's just repeat what I just said before.
All right. You mentioned creating for others. Last year, Pryce Sandfort, 70 assists across the 35 games that Nebraska ended up playing, going 28-7. 2 assists per game. Not bad, especially for a guy that didn't have the ball in his hands in that role very much. On Nebraska's team, that ranked 4th behind Sam Hoiberg, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Rink Mast. I'm going to be really curious to see, Jay, because Fred Hoiberg and the way that he plays, the way that he demands, excellence on both sides of the ball from his guys, has done a pretty darn good job of getting guys prepared for the next step in basketball, right? He's sent, plenty of guys to the league better than he found them in college. Not that anyone's carved out a hugely successful pro career yet, but they've at least gotten there, right? Think about Bryce Williams and how good He's looked at times for Detroit's G League team. You look at Delano Banton being up and down. Bryce McGowan's having a better year this year than last. It's always a tricky kind of balance, I think, for coaches and players and then NBA teams, right? Because it's about Nebraska's success for Pryce Sandfort and for Fred Hoiberg, but it's also to some degree about showcasing what Pryce Sandfort could be in the future.
Yeah.
If or when Pryce Sandfort makes the NBA, probably not a whole lot of on-ball reps in his future. So I think what's going to be really important is prove that he has it in his bag enough to where an NBA team says, okay, if this guy gets run off the three-point line, he's not going to dribble it off his foot.
Yeah.
He can get into his one dribble pull-up. He can get all the way into the paint and then, throw the lob pass. He can make the backside kick out. Because Pryce Sandfort is never going to be a pick-and-roll initiator at Nebraska, right? That's not what we mean by creating for others. But Fred Hoiberg's talked about his gravity, his ability to shoot the basketball, the eyes that he commands. Sometimes when he gets, 3 pairs of eyes on him and still gets the ball, he can make that next pass, right? He's not a ball stopper. He's not just a chucker, even though he does come off a season where he made the most 3-pointers with the most attempts in a single season in Nebraska's history. Pryce Sandfort's not going to be Nebraska's break guys down at the end of the shot clock thing.
Yeah.
Pryce Sandfort creating for others is still off that dribble handoff with a head of steam, can either get to the rim and finish, which he was pretty darn good at this year, or can he just make that one next right pass in the offense? He's adept at that.
Yeah, and creating for others necessarily doesn't mean that he's getting an assist. So you could get the hockey assist where he's passing out of a double team or a late triple team, or whether they're trying to where he gets blitzed. Maybe the few times he's in a pick and roll and maybe he's the popper and then he gets blitzed, from the coverage. Then he makes the quick pass and then they make another pass. It's an easy 2 points. And so the ability to deal with your stardom, and that's where he's at right now. Or gonna be is gonna play be a big part of the success of the team, and it's just him continue along being a really good player and being as efficient as possible, and that's without the basketball and with the basketball, which he's done. And if there's anything that he needs to improve on, and being able to and I think like this, Austin, I'm not fully pushing back on you. I'm looking at it a little bit different, like him being able to operate at the end of the shot clock off the bounce within his game.
Yes.
Within his game. That will be great. Meaning he knows if I get the ball with 6 seconds, I can get into 1 or 2 dribbles. I'm either putting the putting that bad boy up, or Austin's cutting. Right? That's fine, because you're punching a hole in that defense and you're making a really good decision, whether you're shooting or getting fouled to get to the free throw line, or giving somebody else an opportunity to make a shot. Versus when you think of, like, remember when Verge was here and it was like the last 12 seconds was going to be in and out dribbles, you know what I mean? Pick and roll, reject the pick. I'll take the pick, putting it up, trying to get to the midi. And so I think, the more that, he tries to add to his game, is going to be, probably, I think he rebounds pretty decent. Probably, with him, you want to continue to get stronger. I don't think he needs to get bigger. He doesn't need to be out there looking like an old school Kevin Willis or anything like that. But I think the bit more, that he can, I think they've done a really good job with him in the weight room. That's why he's been able to be so consistent. And when he's, he's kind of like, he's not at the same rate as Steph Curry, but he runs off a lot of screens and stuff like that. So it lets the weight program that they have specifically for him has paid dividends. More of that'll help him, continue to grow individually, as a player, and then the team as well.
Let me throw these 2 comparisons out at you and see what you think. I think that Pryce Sandfort has more to his game than Duncan Robinson.
Yep.
From Michigan.
I agree.
Right. Robinson came from the D3 ranks, really worked his way up to Michigan, is really stuck in the NBA a long time as one of the better shooters in the league. I think he's got more to his game there. I think that he's got enough game, but maybe not quite to the extent that we saw from a guy like Luke Kennard coming out of Duke. Now, Kennard scored like 4,000 points in his Ohio high school career, broke LeBron's scoring record in high school over there. And then in college, Kennard was on the team with Grayson Allen, Brandon Ingram, his freshman year. And then he came back the next year to play on the Jason Tatum team. He was back as a sophomore. Grayson Allen, obviously still around. You bring in Frank Jackson and Harry Giles as freshmen there as well. I think Kennard probably had more natural on-ball juice, probably a truer guard more so than a forward. And that's fine. But think about what Luke Kennard's done in the NBA. Just led the league in 3-point shooting, shooting about 48% from three on pretty darn high volume this year between Atlanta and Los Angeles. Spot starter, maybe not the guy you want starting every game, but you can start him in a pinch. Enough ball handling that he's not going to kill you, but he has the shooting to stick. He's long enough and big enough to, at least be a team defender like he's been asked to do at Nebraska. And so I think, somewhere between Luke Kennard in his 48% three-point shooting and Duncan Robinson is just a shooter, somewhere in the middle, that's where I can see Pryce Sandfort landing.
Yeah, and the more that he does it, the more he'll be appealing to it. And Fred knows what it takes to get to the league. I mean, he's worked.
Yeah.
He's played in the NBA a long time. And then obviously he worked up there in the front offices for a little while. And then obviously he's a head coach and has great connections. So, what he's going to do with them is not going to expose the rest of the players of the team to being unsuccessful. And Pryce isn't built like that either.
No.
You see it a lot of times where these coaches maybe get these, freshman phenoms, or, you might see it in high school, they get kids transfer. They're like, screw everybody else, just roll the ball out and just watch, right? Well, you never see anybody there at PBA doing that, right? But we've seen some heck of a players come through PBA, legendary players, and all the way back to the Bellevue West and Miller North, back and forth every year, and even the Creighton Prep years when they had those teams, and Omaha South, I think, before that with
Arope and whatnot.
Yeah, those guys there, and then obviously Central. You had some really great players, but they all play within the team, and that's what you expect Pryce and Fred to get them going. But I'm sure he's excited to be back. I think he feels like it's home here. He grew up. I didn't even know he grew up as a Nebraska fan. He had a tremendous amount of success here. He has a little injury he has to get over, so he doesn't have the pressure of rushing back and then kind of, being behind, as far as where he goes in the pros. And I'm going to tell you what, the pros know exactly who he is. There's a spot for a lot of guys at that level that can shoot lights out. And I know you talked about Kennard. You could even, like a Kyle Korver, played forever. Now, I'm just talking about a pure shooter.
Yeah.
Mike Miller, pure shooter.
Yeah. That's more of the Duncan Robinson end of things.
Right.
But
I'm just saying, those guys, normally if they got to stay in front of Kyrie and make a living, it's not going to happen, right? If they got to shoot the lights out at the end of the half or end of the quarter, or situational basketball, they're deadly, and they can play enough defense. If you have seen when Mike Miller was with the Heat, play enough defense that where they're not going to be exposed, and you'll get better at defense. You'll get better because the more you do it, the more you try it, you'll know how to guard the guys you need to, and plus. It's not a one-on-one contest like everybody thinks. You get more one-on-one contests in summer ball in high school. College is more team. NBA, obviously when you get into those situations, you're not playing, in his case, the whole game defensively. You're playing in spurts, and you know exactly who you're guarding, and you're getting reps and reps and reps and reps, and they're playing to your strengths.
I'd love to know, too, from a player perspective, if it's easier to play defense in a scheme like Nebraska's where you just have to know your role, or if you just go back to the basics and it's easier to play with a rim protector behind you, because Nebraska doesn't necessarily have that traditionally. You got to funnel here, you got to funnel there. And obviously it's the team context around you. But I wonder what Pryce Sandfort looks like defensively straight up. If he can be on ball a little bit more. We saw the quick hands against Valdez and Troy with the steal that led to his back-to-back three-pointer that got the first Troy timeout. I don't think Pryce Sandfort's a lockdown guy. I think he competes. I think he can be in the right space. But I also think, too, that having an elite rim protector behind him might change his mindset a little bit, as opposed to, I got to funnel him this way. This is what I'm being asked to do in Nebraska.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, but then also you can have a rim protector behind you. Then it's all about the philosophy of what you're having everybody else do, right?
Oh, yeah.
Are you having them being super aggressive, and then you got a guy that's trying to reject everything, like, John Thompson or back in the day with Patrick Ewing and Alonzo Mourning and Dikembe Mutombo. Everything that came around the rim, they were trying to reject, even the ones that weren't even in regulation. They were trying to send everything out of the lane, versus if you're kind of playing strategic aggressiveness where you're sending them somewhere, right? Whether you're sending them baseline or middle, and then once they go baseline, then you got that rim protector. So he can operate in both. And I think also, to answer your first part of your question, I think it's easier to play for a defensive. It doesn't matter if you're overly athletic. I guess, you could bring in Ant-Man in here and in play. I think playing for a coaching staff, and I guess, let's say Coach Nate, but a coaching staff in general that plays to your strengths, playing defense is so much easier. because you're not having that anxiety. You welcome your weaknesses, you accentuate your strengths. They're playing there. They're not going to have you out there they're not going to have you, like I said, guarding Kyrie when he just clears it out. And here you are live on stage. They're going to play to your strengths. And even if they don't have a rim protector, they do a really good job of defending the rim, right? And they force you into some bad shots. Now you get a little bit overexposed if the ball movement is excellent and you're not as crisp on your I guess rotations. That's what you got to live and die with. But more and more that you do it, I think you become overly or more aggressive. Then you see this steal that you've seen from Pryce. Then you all of a sudden become a better defender.
Right.
And what's the idea?
And Pryce did average a steal a game last year.
That's what I was just about to say. What's people's idea of a good defender, right? So I always talk about the guard that Kansas State had a couple years ago.
Marquise Noel.
Right now, I just saw him actually on social media. He's playing overseas somewhere.
Yeah.
Because they were going over like March Madness heroes, where they are now, and all the different guys. So, for him, he guarded you 94 feet.
Yeah.
And then he would hit the wide open threes, right? And I mean, obviously he did other stuff, but then he made plays, but that's where you got to start him. You don't see that anymore, right?
Right. Not as much.
Right. You're right. You remember Carter from West Virginia used
Javon
to do
Carter,
that, right?
yep.
And he's still playing in the NBA. But then Van Fleet that's what he always said. He did a really good podcast about guys that are under 6'2" and under, pretty much 6 foot guards, how you're going to make it. You better guard 94 feet
or be Steph Curry
and shoot, but you got to do both.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be Steph Curry is 6'3".
He's 6'3".
Yeah. Trust me, I'm 6'2". He's taller than me and legit 6'3".
Yeah.
And so, when you think about like what, defensively, you have to, what's your idea defensively? Because you can be like long and have length and you can get your hands in the passing lanes. You can be like Burkay, because Burkay is not overly quick now. You know what I mean? But
not sudden necessarily.
No, he's not like who would I think that can really guard like 1 through 5 in the NBA? That's like, kind of
not Scotty Barnes,
right?
Not Murray Boyles.
Yeah, he's not Scotty Barnes.
No,
Scotty Barnes comes out there on a switch. You locked up, right? And he's just like
good night.
he's out there like an eagle, with this, right? So that's not Burkay, but he's good enough defensively. And he's quick enough to be in lanes because he's big guy. He's kind of, awkward, and he knows what he's doing.
Same weight, but looks better, carries it better.
Right. We'll give him credit, though. This year he was in shape. So that's all Pryce can do. And then he'll get a steal a game. So he's playing good defense.
Couple numbers I want to throw at you here. First is 129, the number of made three-pointers for Pryce Sandfort. The second is 170 rebounds. Which is more attainable and which is better in a vacuum for Nebraska's team success? Pryce Sandfort reaching 140 made threes or Pryce Sandfort reaching 200 total rebounds?
I would say 200 total rebounds if we keep the threes the same that he had this year. Yeah, if he got to hit more threes, that means Frager ain't doing his job, if CJ ain't doing his job, and Army ain't doing his job. So it's like, hey, half court, green light, fluorescent light.
Or what if he needs to hit more because he gets more easier opportunities because everyone's hitting? Nebraska's offense, Jay, has been above average. It hasn't been elite.
Yeah.
For Fred Hoiberg being the offensive whisperer, it's clearly been an upgrade. It's been an improvement. But you look at the Sweet 16 teams, Nebraska's offense really lagged behind that crew in terms of efficiency, in terms of offensive rating. Nebraska gets it done in the half court, but Nebraska still isn't an elite offense. Right now, it's a good offense, and Fred Hoiberg is a good offensive coach. But I think that Pryce Sandfort could hit more threes, and you'd also have, someone else reach 75 made threes. And then, 2 more people reach, 45 or 50 made threes. But it's going to take Nebraska, hitting more, obviously, in the half court, but also playing a little bit faster, and if they don't want to do that, that's fine. But there's got to be another gear for Nebraska offensively to take that next step. And I think what Nebraska's banking on is bringing in more guys that can credibly stretch the floor from long range. I still think that could increase Pryce Sandfort's volume as well.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that happening. I mean, I guess it's all, you want to get to the nuts and bolts while he's making more threes. He's more than capable to it. I think, if you just add a couple more attempts, from, Sam and Jamarcus being gone, obviously the odd, game that Burkay shoots like 3 or 4, you kind of accumulate those to him. Like say, if he, one or all of his 3 attempts, I could see it. And he obviously would make them at a higher clip. And if he's getting wide open in threes, hey, come one, come all, let it fly, Jack. You know what I'm saying? So,
I
mean, I think both would be great. I think when you just, and I don't think he's that type of player coming down and just jacking up shot like Jimmy Fredette or whatever his name is, where he just kind of just coming down, just, shooting it and hoping it goes in.
It's also not his role.
Right. So, sure. If teams aren't rotating well and say Frager and Orme are hitting and whoever else they bring in, as far as a big or if it's, you can say you get a combo guard that can, get down, get 2 feet in the paint and kicking it out. Have at it, man. Because if he's hitting that many, that means the other two are hitting too, and it's going to be a lot of fun at PBA.
Nebraska's hosting a couple of lead guards on a visit. We can get to that coming up at 3:45. And another question on the Pryce Sandfort thing at 3:45, because I think it would be interesting to at least think through as a hypothetical thought exercise. But we're going to go to break. When we get back, a Husker football recruiting update from Brian Munson of Husker Online. Huskers miss out on a key target on the offensive side of the ball. We'll get Brian Munson's take on that and more after this.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, buddy, here we go. Just keep your eye on the ball. All right, just swing right through it. Yeah, good job. Way to go. Hey, run it out. Okay.
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
The one and only Monster Jam. Big air, backflips, and all-out racing. See the world's best drivers tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks. The fun begins at the pit party, where you can meet the drivers, get autographs, take pictures, and see the trucks up close. Get your pit party pass at monsterjam.com today. Must have valid event ticket to enter pit party. Restrictions may apply. Rules and activities are subject to change. Visit website for event details. Coming to Pinnacle Bank Arena May 2nd and 3rd.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Now's the time to lock in the best deal of the year on a new John Deere sprayer during Landmark Implement's Sprayer Early Order Program. Leverage the industry's latest technology with See and Spray. Target weeds with precision and cut herbicide use. Utilize Exact Apply to save in chemical usage and prevent over-application. Don't forget, secure early order savings and get the sprayer that maximizes every pass. Visit your Landmark location for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
3, 2, 1. The drop is live. Screens freeze everywhere, except yours. You've been training for this moment. And with Aloe Fiber's zero-lag precision, you strike first. No lag. No limits, just speed. Can your internet provider do that? Stay ahead of every drop. Visit aloefiber.com/all-in.
Tomorrow is about the lessons we learn today. A farmer's market teaches us that community is grown together. Kids laughing shows us how joy is easy. And coffee on the porch reminds us to savor every moment. These are the lessons that shape a tomorrow we all share. One filled with trust, good company, and wide open dreams. That's the way banking should be. And that's Pinnacle Bank. Member FDIC.
Hog Wild's giant stuffed baked potatoes are anything but basic and really hit the spot when you're craving a little comfort food. Nothing is more satisfying than a Hog Wild baked potato loaded with butter, sour cream, cheddar cheese, bacon bits, and chives. Add your choice of a Hog Wild house smoked meat like pulled pork, chicken, or brisket for a little extra. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
April is Parkinson's Awareness Month, and guys, this is your reminder to take your health seriously. If you've noticed tremors, stiffness, or slower movement, don't ignore it. Parkinson's disease affects men more often, and early detection can make all the difference. This spring, take control. Get answers, take action. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they're helping you spring back into health with advanced technology and compassionate care. Because your health isn't something to put off. Advanced Medical Imaging. Your diagnosis, their priority.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see probably sunny skies. It'll be breezy and warm. An afternoon high near 85. Tonight, mainly clear skies, continued breeze, the low around 54. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with a light breeze and a high, again, near 85. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Nutrition Authority invites you to check out the top-selling Epic Effects. Epic Effects is designed to help blast body fat, curb cravings, and provide smooth energy so you can cruise through the day. Home of free samples and better-than-internet pricing, Epic Effects can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. Welcome back in. It is Old School. Austin Orman and Jay Foreman with you, but it's 3:30 on a Monday, and it's in the spring, and there's a lot going on in recruiting, so we need an update. For that, we head to our Allo Fiber VIP line, and we welcome in Mr. Brian Munson of Husker Online. B. Munson, welcome back to Old School. All settled back home after your travels, my friend?
Oh, yeah, no, we're back, and football season opens up for us today down here. So I know Nebraska football is all wrapped up, but Sons High School opens up today. So I'm going out for the first practice. I'm not gonna be out there every day, but I got a chance to get out there today.
Is spring football bigger in Texas too?
It's wild, right? Because having grown up in Nebraska, played high school football up there and all the good stuff, not having spring practice up there was always kind of one of those weird talking points when I came down here. I didn't really understand it. But yeah, it's massive because these guys have been working out every morning before school since the start of the first semester, since the start of the spring semester. So they've already been doing all their, basically the winter conditioning. They actually just tested out last week. And then it kind of coincides, obviously, like with the evaluation, that's going to happen here quickly with like the coaches. College coaches will be able to get back on the road and check guys out. It's all connected. So they put them out there to where you can come out and watch practice or watch them work out in the mornings. And it's wild. It took a lot of getting used to it, I guess is what I would say down here, because it's out the door by 6:30, dropping the kid off for a 7:00 start, So it's everybody has to buy in down here if they're going to play football.
Well, so we're sitting in the 80s in the temperatures up here. Is that about what it is down there? Or are you even warmer?
Yeah, no, it's in the 80s. It might have warmed up a little bit since this morning when I went outside. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I'm looking forward to sitting outside and this stuff. I'm actually sitting outside on my patio right now.
Nice.
80 degrees on the nose.
We got you by a few degrees, at least according to what I'm seeing here. But Brian, Nebraska football had a bucket of cold water poured on its head earlier today as Cooper Terwilliger, tight end target, ended up committing to Matt Campbell and Penn State. That's a guy we've brought up quite a bit on this program. He was at Nebraska a lot. I think 7 visits is what I saw. How rare is it for a place like Nebraska to get 7 visits from a prospect but not end up landing them?
Yeah, that's a challenge to kind of go back and try to find one of those guys. I'm not sure there's too many of them out there. Something changed, and I got a couple of guesses like what it was. I mean, you mentioned 7 visits. 2 visits were last season, one for Michigan, one for USC. And then, talking to him following his USC visit, I can kind of recall the conversation. He mentioned, that he had kind of a top 3. It was like Michigan, Iowa State, and Nebraska. And he's always had kind of this Midwestern values, going to stay in the Midwest, kind of closer to home, et cetera. But a lot of things happened to those 3 schools later on, late in the year last year. I mean, obviously you had the coaching changes at both schools, right? Yeah. And you get Campbell that shows up then at State College in Pennsylvania and starts recruiting him over there just as much as he was doing there at Iowa State. And I don't think he really looked back from that. There was definitely a time, I think, where it seemed like Nebraska could get like a Cooper Terwilliger, and then if they got Ahmad Hudson to go with, or a Charles Davis, or whatever kind of went along with it, then fantastic. You had this incredible athlete in Cooper Terwilliger, a kid from South Dakota that that you were going to be able to put in the bag, and then you're going to add somebody else on top of that that's maybe more of a jumbo, X kind of slot Y guy. While Cooper could play probably really more of a tight, but is really a tremendous athlete himself. So I just feel like between like the 2 games that he was in town for, they didn't really live up to the hype. Obviously, they were 2 home losses for the Huskers, and he had kind of his world just kind of turned upside down as he was kind of moving into the month of November because of the coaching changes at 2 schools that were adjacent to Nebraska in his top 3. So I think it really required him to reconcile and think about stuff, about like where he was really going and what the long-term view of things really was. So, but like I said, I think something changed very late in the year, and it coincided obviously with the 2 coaching changes at the other 2 schools.
So as best as you can tell, is it something that Nebraska didn't do, or something that Matt Campbell and his staff did do that you think landed them Cooper Terwilliger?
I think Iowa State was in a pretty decent spot with him. I would have probably put Michigan ahead of everyone, like going into maybe like the month of October, November time of year. And then I think it really just became, well, Moore's not going to be at Michigan any longer. And, you got this situation where Campbell now is moving on from Ames to State College, and it's in the Big Ten. I can go play in the Big Ten, just like I would be going to do at Nebraska. And, maybe after seeing a couple of losses, maybe we're talking about changes coming in bigger scale at Nebraska, and I don't want to get caught up on something like that. Now I'm just totally spitballing it. I'm just totally spitballing what could be going through the head of Mr. Terwilliger. But, I mean, I think that, like I said, what I think he saw is how quickly things can get turned upside down on yourself when it comes to, like, trying to go through the process and thinking you're going to be in Ames or Ann Arbor, and then all of a sudden both those schools really aren't options for you anymore. So I think that was a big thing for him. And then I don't think it really helped Nebraska's chances either that he was in town for losses like, to Michigan and to USC.
We're talking with Brian Munson of Husker Online, a Husker football recruiting update. You mentioned the name Ahmad Hudson in there, and we'll take that question from a different angle, I think, Brian, because obviously, those 2 guys you said could have played together potentially or been in the same class. There would have been room for both of them. But is there any impact on Ahmad Hudson's recruitment with this news? Does it make Nebraska more likely or less likely to land him? But I guess the bigger picture question is, does Nebraska's use of tight ends in the offense have anything to do with how the Ahmad Hudson recruitment is going and losing out on Cooper Terwilliger?
Well, I mean, that could have been something else that Cooper Terwilliger was questioning him, about Nebraska anyway. I mean, you had a guy that, possibly, could have been compared to like a Carter Nelson, and I guess a Carter Nelson could be a comparison, obviously, for a really great athlete like Ahmad Hudson as well. And you might be then trying to figure out what the role of that guy is going to be in the offense for Nebraska. And you're trying to then also, move in and out the things that will be changing, by the time you get there, like Trey Taylor being there, on the offense, and maybe having a chance to work with Trey a little bit prior to kind of getting up there to Lincoln. I don't think Hudson has anything to do with Cooper Terwilliger. I think Nebraska would have gladly taken both. I think that Ahmad Hudson, if Cooper Terwilliger is in the class, that it's not even a glint in the eye of Ahmad Hudson. Those guys are similar, but they're not similar enough to where it would really factor into it. And I think a guy like Hudson being a 5-star, he's just not going to care about, really who's on the roster and who else is in the class, because the path to the field is going to really be laid out for a guy like that, because you're just not going to bring in a 5-star and pay that kind of money and do the kind of things that you need to do to just have him stay on the sideline and kind of just watch and develop. I mean, take the mental reps. It's not going to be like that. It's growing pains for sure, to get on the field and do your thing. So, yeah, I don't think anything had anything to do with those two things at all. Nebraska would have been really fired up to have both those guys in the class. It would have made a lot of sense. They would have been very complimentary of one another. Now, something that I mentioned in like our kind of comments about Small Talk last week, the tight end board is a little bit of a mess. And, Coach Satterfield has got to sit down and kind of take a look now. I mean, you're going to get Hudson in for an official visit, but I think we would all agree, I think that's going to be a tough pull. Is there a chance? There's absolutely a chance. But I mean, we all agree there's legacy ties. He's from Louisiana. I think just being a guy that's, never really left home all that much, I think it's just going to be tough. So you got to now kind of question, what are you going to do? And Charles Davis, a guy that I mentioned before, committed to Cal on Friday. So now you're really down to like one kind of other tight end that's even been to Nebraska in the last 3 months. So it's and that's Ahmad Hudson. Actually he hadn't even been there since last fall. So it's really interesting, and it'll be kind of fun to see what Nebraska does now to kind of figure out what they're going to do at the tight end position.
If Nebraska doesn't go to the big border, not able to land anybody off of it, seems to me like this staff would be open to moving, maybe a defensive end over there, or, a bigger bodied wide receiver over there. But again, Brian, I think that just kind of underscores what I asked you about. Tight end doesn't seem to be a focal position for Nebraska, like it is for Iowa, like it is for Illinois, like it was at times, for Indiana. Ohio State always has a great one. Michigan's, been a factory for tight ends as well. Yeah. Is that a function of the Dana Holgorsen offense? Is that a Matt Rule thing? Why do you think Nebraska puts a lesser emphasis on that position right now?
Well, and was it a Dylan Raiola thing? Let's be honest. I mean, there are guys that will go to the tight end more than others, and we've kind of just seen it through various, hey, there's a quarterback change, and whatever, through injury or through mop-up duty or whatever the case may be, and things just radically change all of a sudden. And so that definitely could be a factor as well. But I think that also, something Nebraska has to feel very good about, and it's something that I think you and I talked about leading up to the spring game, was, the word around town is, Luke Sorensen, the true freshman from Anaheim, is really looking good. And that was a guy that in December, before he took off to go, participate in practices and go through the bowl game stuff like you would be able to do as an early enroller, he was telling me he was mid 250 pounds, not a 6'6" guy, but very put together, working on his blocking, Didn't have a crazy great year at Servite last year, but Servite kind of was down too, like in terms of like where they generally, are success wise. But the word out of camp so far that spring for Nebraska was just that he had played very, very well. He came in ready to go. So I think one of the other reasons maybe like Nebraska may not be like, blowing the whistle here, thinking that they got a problem with Terwilliger coming off the board or Charles Davis coming off the board. I think one of the reasons why is because like Sorensen is there. I think Sorensen is going to be a name that we probably would have said could have worked himself into a rotation. I think that you and I, as we kind of move forward through like the fall, we'll talk about how big of a role, how much playing time he's actually getting. I think he's going to play quite a bit.
Yeah, Sorensen's a freshman, Luke Lindenmeyer a senior, and then in between you have juniors Caden Echternock and Carter Nelson, and then sophomores Eric Ingwerson and Danny King. As you look at that room, Brian, is there any ceiling in that room? Is it a bunch of just, replacement level, do your job kind of high floor tight ends? What do you think Nebraska has in that room to work with?
Well, I mean, I think we would all still say that we're all just still waiting on Carter Nelson. And I think that Carter, has had a run of bad luck, a series of bad luck happened to him in Lincoln where he's had to have these surgeries and it's just kind of slowed him down. He is one of the most athletically gifted individuals I've ever seen. And I think that any of us could even talk about between his size, his length, what he did in the basketball court, what he did on the football field, what he did on the track and field. He was amazing. However, he's had some issues since he's got up there to Lincoln, and he's got to get healthy. I think everything is still in front of Carter Nelson. And I think that that's something everybody is kind of waiting on. There've been some flashes, particularly on special teams. There's been a couple of sightings with him on offense, to kind of get things going and get him comfortable and get him worked in. But that's definitely a guy. I think, as you mentioned, the other players on the list there. I mean, Eric Ingwerson, gigantic body, gigantic frame. You maybe kind of hope still that something happens there with him. But I think out of all the names that you mentioned, the one person I think that everybody still has all the hope kind of pinned to it in the world is Carter Nelson.
How much of you mentioned the bad luck, but again, is it hoping against hope at this point? Do we get that? I mean, because Carter Nelson is, fine in terms of doing the little things, but he's also not the biggest frame. It just seems to me like for Nebraska to maximize what they get out of Carter Nelson, he's going to need the ball a lot. And if he's playing, kind of a true tight end position, has Nebraska used him enough as a hybrid? And again, you throw the Dylan Raiola aspect in there. Is there any hope that maybe a year with Anthony Calandria or TJ Lateef can spark Carter Nelson? Or is that just kind of hoping against hope based on the system he's playing in right now?
No, I think that those changes can really provide a spark. I think obviously then also that, when you have a better offensive line, you open up different parts of the playbook. I think when you have maybe that you could go a little bit deeper in the running backs room because maybe you don't have that bell cow and EJ, but you've got some really talented guys, including a true freshman, runner like Jamal Rule. I think that really helps out as well. When it kind of comes to exploring the space of the playbook and calling on a couple different guys, and I think even the wide receivers would agree. I mean, they all want to catch every pass that Anthony has to put up in the air. But I think the thing of it is like when you can put more guys on the field and your distribution, is like to 8, 9, 10 different receivers. And you're doing that every single week, it opens up different things for different guys because there's not those patterns to kind of drill into when it comes to this type of personnel, this type of down and distance, what the play calling historically has kind of been in those situations, et cetera. And I think that can really help out Carter Nelson as well.
There you go. It's a look at the Nebraska football tight end room. Brian Munson of Husker Online, our guest. Check out his work online, huskeronline.com. Brian, enjoy opening day of spring football down there in Texas. Best of luck to your son as that gets going. And thanks as always for your time, my man.
Talk next week, buddy. See ya.
It is a plan. There he goes. Brian Munson of Husker Online joining us on our Allo Fiber VIP line. Allo Fiber is where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. couple more things on Nebraska men's basketball to get to. We'll wrap up the hour with that.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The one and only Monster Jam. Big air, backflips, and all-out racing. See the world's best drivers tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks. The fun begins at the pit party, where you can meet the drivers, get autographs, take pictures, and see the trucks up close. Get your pit party pass at monsterjam.com today. Must have valid event ticket to enter pit party. Restrictions may apply. Rules and activities are subject to change. Visit website for event details. Coming to Pinnacle Bank Arena May 2nd and 3rd.
Nutrition Authority invites you to check out the top-selling Epic Effects. Epic Effects is designed to help blast body fat, curb cravings, and provide smooth energy so you can cruise through the day. Home of free samples and better than internet pricing, Epic Effects can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Now's the time to lock in the best deal of the year on a new John Deere sprayer during Landmark Implement's Sprayer Early Order Program. Leverage the industry's latest technology with See and Spray. Target weeds with precision and cut herbicide use. Utilize Exact Apply to save in chemical usage and prevent over-application. Don't forget, secure early order savings and get the sprayer that maximizes every pass. Visit your Landmark location for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards just south of 48th and Holdridge.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
3, 2, 1. The drop is live. Screens freeze everywhere, except yours. You've been training for this moment. And with Aloe Fiber's zero-lag precision, you strike first. No lag, no limits, just speed. Can your internet provider do that? Stay ahead of every drop. Visit aloefiber.com/all-in.
A membership with John Henry's will fast-track you to front-of-the-line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
And electrical.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
April is Parkinson's Awareness Month, and guys, this is your reminder to take your health seriously. If you've noticed tremors, stiffness, or slower movement, don't ignore it. Parkinson's disease affects men more often, and early detection can make all the difference. This spring, take control. Get answers, take action. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they're helping you spring back into health with advanced technology and compassionate care. because your health isn't something to put off. Advanced Medical Imaging. Your diagnosis, their priority.
Hog Wild's giant stuffed baked potatoes are anything but basic and really hit the spot when you're craving a little comfort food. Nothing is more satisfying than a Hog Wild baked potato loaded with butter, sour cream, cheddar cheese, bacon bits, and chives. Add your choice of a Hog Wild house smoked meat like pulled pork, chicken, or brisket for a little extra. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. Welcome back in. It is Old School, hour one of the show, brought to you by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. You can see the information scrolling if you're watching on stream, but if not, we'll tell you that you can give Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852. You can also visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com to learn more. It's the perfect time to get your windows redone if you had issues over the winter. Get it done now before it really gets hot and rainy and all that crazy weather stuff that we know happens in Nebraska in the spring. Well, Jay, speaking of making it rain, Pryce Sandfort absolutely did this year for Nebraska from the wing. Here's the question. How far up the list of all-time greats can Pryce Sandfort climb? Can he be a top 10 Husker in just 2 years when it's all said and done?
Ooh, that'd be tough, man. You talking about some dudes, man.
Talking about some dudes, but he's one of them.
Top 15, maybe. Top 10 be hard. It'd be hard.
It'd be hard, but how much weight does the NCAA tournament win carry? Being the first one? None?
Not an individual. I mean, that's what gets him into the top 15.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, let's start listing off some of the Huskers.
Well, I mean, Hoppin, Piatkowski,
Strick,
and Lou are the
Strick,
retired
Lou,
jerseys.
right?
Okay. Yep. Rich King.
Vincent Hamilton. Rich
Vincent
King,
Hamilton.
Dron Boone.
Mikey Moore, Dron Boone.
Yeah. That's not even counting.
No, all the guys from the Jerry Fort.
Yeah.
Has to be on that list.
Yeah. So then you're not also thinking Siobhan Shields, I guess, maybe.
Ooh, okay. This is where it gets fun. Okay. So, Pryce Sandfort or James Palmer Jr.? Did Pryce pass JPJ already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or he should.
He should. Casey.
The fan favorite, K-State.
I have a Pryce is fan favorite now too.
Nothing was like K-State Kamanaga madness.
Okay. Pryce or Bryce Williams?
If you just rolling the ball out there and playing one-on-one?
Best Nebraska career. Now, not better player in a vacuum, not who's winning one-on-one. Best Nebraska career. Better player at Nebraska.
You can't answer that because they don't know what the team's going to be like next year.
Well, hypothetical.
That's a tie.
Okay. Pryce or Rink?
Oh, Pryce.
Pryce or Lance Jeter?
Do you remember Lance Jeter?
Lance Jeter, in my head, is the Levante Day of Nebraska men's basketball.
He was like a linebacker.
He's had all the 2-year records.
Yeah.
Dang good player.
I'll probably Lance.
Okay.
On just that alone, he ain't top 10. And
okay.
I'm not hating.
Okay, well, Pryce or Siobhan Shields? Siobhan was a 4-year guy. I know that's your boy's boy, so.
No, it's not. I think Siobhan brought a lot to the team.
He did. Pryce or Glenn Watson Jr.?
I'm just biased with Baby Watt.
I'm a Glenn Watson guy, man.
If they could have Glenn Watson right now, we might win the championship.
At Glenn Watson 2 years ago, they make the tournament.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
This year, they get past Iowa.
Yeah. Pryce or Tony Farmer?
Tony Farmer. And then
again, Tony's probably colder, but Pryce has accomplished more. Pryce is going to have a better Nebraska career.
Yeah, just because you got Sweet 16. But
Pryce also made 129 threes and was the leading scorer at 18 points per game on a tournament team. Not better, but better career.
You got to be better. Like, he's a better shooter, right?
He is. Is he being asked to do more on the offensive end than Tony Farmer is?
I'll reluctantly give him that.
What if I told you Pryce Sandfort is the Mikey Moore of offense? What Mikey Moore was to defense, Pryce Sandfort was to offense.
Probably.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but you thinking like when I was here, man, they had some dudes on that. They had some dudes.
Oh yeah.
And
I'm not saying they didn't. I'm not saying they didn't.
Even Cookie Belcher was all right.
Mm-hmm. Play a little bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He made it to NBA.
He did.
Yeah. So I mean, it's hard to you can't even surpass those 5. You ain't getting in the top 10. Now, let me tell you something. If they make the grade 8 this year, then we gotta revisit this.
Back speed. What if he averages 20 points, 6 rebounds, 2.5 assists, shoots 40% from 3 again, and it's another Sweet 16?
Yeah, he's still top 15. Now you probably 12, 13.
Okay.
These modern day fans don't appreciate what was here before.
Any chance his 21 goes up in the rafters? Any chance?
Boy, you better, hey, Strick still live around here. No.
Co-retirement.
Negative, Ghost Rider. That pattern's full. Oh, my God. Please. I'm just telling you, do not do that, Fred. Strick would be. You think he was mad when people got his spices?
Where my spices at, yo?
Yo, there was a company email about my brother and his spices. Listen.
Who took my spices?
Listen, man. If you thought he was mad about them spices,
he was heated. He was livid.
My man,
there was no
if they
coming back from the
retire
spices.
another 21 before Strick, oh my God. I'll be right there with him.
Where my spices at, yo? I forgot the email.
The whole company, the whole ticket was shut down for
24
to 48 hours from Sunday to Tuesday.
Send off.
Brother was looking for the spices. Now you trying to tell me somebody comes in after 2 years and gets his 21 retired? Oh no. I think I would have to call over to Fred. Say, Fred, listen.
It's personal, isn't it? What happened?
This brother and Strick had every reason to be mad. Somebody gaffled us $80 worth of spices. But when I tell you for 48 hours the ticket was shut down,
he literally did spend $80 on spices.
He will shut the whole basketball program down.
Man.
Yeah, don't put that out there, man.
All right. Well, let's recover and go to break. We'll talk some Masters after this.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
A membership with John Henry's will fast track you to front of the line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Hey everyone, this is Austin Orman from Old School with Foreman and Orman, live from 1040 O Street in the heart of downtown Lincoln, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. My favorite thing about downtown Lincoln has to be the year-round energy. Downtown Lincoln never stops. It's easy to get to, has everything you could need or want in dining, entertainment, and retail, and of course it has Lincoln's best sports talk, proudly located in downtown Lincoln on the corner of 11th and O.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
3, 2, 1. The drop is live. Screens freeze everywhere, except yours. You've been training for this moment. And with Allo Fiber's zero-lag precision, you strike first. No lag, no limits, just speed. Can your internet provider do that? Stay ahead of every drop. Visit allofiber.com/all-in.
April is Parkinson's Awareness Month, and guys, this is your reminder to take your health seriously. If you've noticed tremors, stiffness, or slower movement, don't ignore it. Parkinson's disease affects men more often, and early detection can make all the difference. This spring, take control. Get answers, take action. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they're helping you spring back into health with advanced technology and compassionate care, because your health isn't something to put off. Advanced Medical Imaging, your diagnosis, their priority.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, buddy, here we go. Just keep your eye on the ball. All right, just swing right through it. Yeah, good job. Way to go. Hey, run it out, run it out, run it out. Okay.
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln. This is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Troy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score! Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black shirts, answer the call one more time.
And Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln, your tire store next door with 4 Lincoln locations. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome in. It's Hour 2 of the show. My spices, man. My freaking spices. Where'd they go? All right, you should go to Graham Tire if you need your tires changed. I don't think they can help you locate your spices. Maybe they can. I mean, I know they work some miracles at any of their 4 Lincoln locations, and they have been in business for 75 years. But more than just tires and spices, they do all kinds of car and light truck repairs, too, from brakes to oil changes. Trust Graham Tire for service you can count on. Graham Tire, getting you to the places that matter most. 402-464-5685. All right, we did set the text line off here.
Dang, Raider fan.
But we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay. Mark says, is Connor Essegian coming back? Will he start? Connor Essegian, all but assuredly back on Nebraska's roster next year, and I doubt that he starts. Again, I think the way the lineup is currently constructed is Sandfort at the 2, Frager at the 3, and Orm at the 4.
Connor Essegian fits in with this team.
He does indeed.
I'm going to get Raider fan. I'm going to get with you real quick.
All right.
Raider fan. Hey, Raider fan, Austin. He says, Jay's bias is insane. Skill doesn't matter. It's about accomplishments. Well, skill will get you the accomplishments, my friend. Have we had a first team all Big Ten player ever?
Yes.
Well, I'm just telling you what he said.
Well, I answer that question. Pryce Sandfort was first team by one of the teams, got left off in favor of Bennett Sturts for the other one. James Palmer Jr. was first team all Big Ten as well. Those are the 2 most recent.
And then he said, did you just say Cookie Belcher? What's next? Brandon Ubell. I don't know who he is.
You don't know who Brandon Ubell is?
Mm-mm.
You're disrespecting my culture right now.
No, I know who Brandon Ubell is. But here's what you have to understand, though. And Raider fan, you're right. We both can be right and we both can be wrong. And I don't, it's.
And Bryce was first team all conference too, by the way.
Is that you can be a better player and not be first team. You can be a great player and your team not be very good, or there's some really good teams that have magical years and those guys will get elevated. That's why winning is so important.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all relative. Now, Pryce fits in there, and he had a great year. So as far as individual accomplishment, I mean, he's up there. But if you're talking about I guess if you look at it, if you're talking about individual accomplishments, he's easily top 10 because he's first team all Big Ten,
school record holder in single season.
But if you're talking about being in the top 10 best players in Nebraska history, no, not right now. No, there's that you can't convince me otherwise. I could just name 10 guys just off. Vincent Hamilton played 12 years professional basketball.
Vincent Hamilton was also a conference player of the year.
Right, conference player of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So he elevates up there. You're talking about T. Lou. You're talking about Strick. You talk about Rich
and
King.
His spices.
Right, and his spices. And he was spicy that day.
Rich King could use some more spice, but
he did. Well, he needed spice when he got out to Minneapolis because them boys Xavier, wherever it was, running circles around him. Was Keith Moody on that team?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I remember Nebraska's uniforms. I remember this is how I guess vain I was when I was like, man, they know their names on the back are all large. I was like, their uniforms look busted. X off the list.
No, that's enough. Enough of that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just keep scrolling through here. Dan from Canby, those 90s teams choked in the tournament. Every one of them. No excuse.
That is true.
It happened.
And they weren't as cohesive as a team. Strick will tell you.
Mm-hmm. Especially when it got late in the season.
Immensely talented. Individually.
Mm-hmm.
Collectively, not so much. Maybe a little bit of jealousy going on over there. A little bit probably feeling themselves and too much dip on their chip when they're rolling around town.
Yeah.
That's what made this team so refreshing and so special. But they giving me the business right here.
Ray says even Alex Marich. Alex Marich was my guy, man. Aussie. Came up from down under. Dropped 41 as a sophomore.
Okay, what's people's idea? Is it the most accomplished players or the best players?
Well, like you said, skill goes hand in hand with accomplishments, but I think, accomplishment goes hand in hand with best. Because I think you can weight it different ways, because I tend to agree. I don't know how many one-on-one competitions Pryce Sandfort would win against some of these guys, but it's also inarguable that, Pryce Sandfort helped key Nebraska's win against Troy, which looks funny and sounds funny to say in a 29-point victory, but where would Nebraska have been without Pryce Sandfort early on?
Breaking the game open.
And then against Vanderbilt, right? When people were struggling, who did Nebraska go to for the big bucket?
Yeah.
It was Pryce Sandfort.
And he was patient, too.
He's patient, yeah. And Pryce got the party started against Iowa.
What's the old buddy that came in here? It's not his last name wasn't Walt Pitchford, but he
Pettaway.
Wasn't he first team?
So your first team all conference honorees in the 2000s alone: Pryce Sandfort, last year first and second team depending. Bryce Williams, James Palmer Jr., Pettaway got first team in 2014. Then Alex Marich in 2008.
Now let me ask you this: I mean, Pettaway versus Pryce. I'm probably taking Pryce.
Well, I'll take Pettaway. Wildly different games. Yeah. Pryce is the system in a different way than Pettaway was, right? Pettaway took his fair share of shots, but he also didn't have the offensive infrastructure
and he didn't
around
have the help either.
If Terrain Pettaway would be a combo guard on last year's Nebraska's team, I think some of those bad habits get kicked to the curb.
Well, they needed him to be somewhat of a volume scorer.
They did. There's nothing else around it.
Right. So it's kind of, but then it goes back to, okay, I guess I can throw football out there. Do you want to have 60 tackles on a national championship team, and be one of many with anywhere from 60 to 38 tackles, right? So I throw out the whole defense. Or do you want to be a guy that has 140 tackles and you ain't even bust a grape?
Well, Pryce Sandfort essentially put up 90 on a college football playoff team.
Right. But that's not, I'm just saying, when you're talking about
Pettaway.
Mm-hmm. Whereas, and sometimes you can be empty points. So then you got your boy Jason over here. He says, Jason B says, Jay, you said individual accomplishments make him a top 10 before the commercial break. you said Pryce wasn't good enough individually. I said Pryce wasn't better than those guys individually. But his accomplishment, if we're talking about accomplishments, that means first team All Big Ten, then he probably is the top 10. But as far as being a top 10 player, he's not. It's not even a knock against him. We've had some good players here.
Yeah, some really good ones.
Yeah.
We went down the list, and we continue to go down the list. If you look at the second team guys, just for reference, Keisei Tominaga, Derek Walker, James Palmer Jr. in 18, not in 19. Ty Webster was second team.
Yeah.
Siobhan Shields, second team. Maricha, back-to-back second teams. Cookie Belcher, second team as well.
There you go.
In
There you go.
2001.
Raider fan. Yeah, I said Cookie Belcher. Yeah, he was second team. He was all Big 12, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good basketball conference.
$25 to Buffalo Wings, or $30. Sorry, $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings for the first person in with each of Nebraska's 2 conference players of the year.
You already gave him one.
Gave him one of them. Okay. The other one, all-time great at Nebraska. How about this, Jay? Nebraska men's basketball is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different All-Americans. The most recent, though, 1978. Carl McPipe was the center, the most recent All-American. Herschel Turner, James Buchanan, Robert Parsons, George Walquist, Steve Hokuff, Don McClay, and Sam Carrier.
Dang. But again, that all comes from there's some guys in teams that are grandfathered players on those All-American lists. It's hard for me to believe that Vincent Hamilton, being the Big 12 Player of the Year, that he's not an All-American.
Bang. 1627 is in. $30 to Wings and Rings for you, 1627.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if say Nebraska obviously wasn't, a top, 20 team, how is he not an All-American in one of the best basketball conferences out there still? And was then.
Yeah.
So it just kind of, it's almost like the football thing where you've had some good players like, Trey Palmer had a really good year, but we didn't make a bowl game. I think we won 4 or 5 games. He had over 1,000 yards, nowhere near, being even third team All Big Ten. He ended up playing it. Same with the year that Ty Robinson had. You're barely honorable mention.
Yeah.
He plays for the Eagles. So it's all kind of wins help you get. This is what's hard for athletes these days. Wins if you win, everybody eats.
Yeah.
When you only are, focus on yourself, you don't eat, and then nobody else eats.
Yep. Bill and Bennett says no Stricky on any of those lists. No, Strick was a Big 8 freshman of the year in 93. Probably made or would have made some all defensive teams. I'm not sure if those were around.
He'd be in my top 10.
What else does Fred Hoiberg have to do to become the best coach in Nebraska men's basketball history?
Isn't he already?
Still sub 500.
Yeah, but I mean, right now, who do you think? Is it Danny Nee?
Nee. I mean, Nee won a buttload of games.
Yeah.
A lot of games, made it to the
Fred
tournament
just
the
keeps
most.
on at this clip.
I was there.
At this clip for the rest of his contract, in and around where he's at the last 4 or 5 years, he's the best player of all time, or best coach of all time.
Because right now, for my Royals fans out there, Fred Hoiberg's kind of Ned Yost-ish. Sub 500 overall, but took him to the back-to-back World Series.
If he
won the first one.
Going forward, the first few years are nullified. Here's an example football-wise. When you ask every player within reasonable errors, even before he played and definitely after, who's the best running back to ever play here? Without a doubt, it's Lawrence Phillips. But he doesn't have the most yards, doesn't have the most touchdowns.
Right.
Now, granted, he left
most individually talented, potentially.
But he was. But then you watch him in the big games. But then you got a lot of guys that have some yards. So it's all kind of like the whole LeBron Jordan thing. You can compare the two. They really aren't the same player. It's 2 different eras. It's just like are you the best of the generation or are you the best of all time? And if you want to do championships, then neither one of them are in the conversation because that goes to Bill Russell.
Let's keep it on basketball here. We have just a little bit left in this segment. We'll talk some Rory and Masters next segment because there's a lot to get to from that. Jay, 10 years ago today, the Golden State Warriors won their 73rd game. Steph Curry became the first player to make 400 threes in a season. Only player ever to average 30 points in a 50, 40, 90 season. And yet, more important than the 73, more important than the 9, are the numbers 3 and 1. Does that team Can you kind of the Pryce Sandfort thing? Can you rank that team as one of the best in NBA history, even though it didn't win the finals?
That's tough. I mean, just kind of depends on. I think you do. I think you're not where you would normally be if you won a championship, but obviously I think you have to because of what you accomplish. It's it's just whatever people's ranking system is of the greatest of all time, and is just dependent on who they want to be in that. You know what I mean? In that
Sure.
area, and same with the teams. Like you won the most games in the regular season. You have to be, let's say, top 20, 25 teams. But if you had won a championship that year, you probably you're up probably a little bit higher than maybe you should be. But I think you go on what the teams, had going on. Now you just ran into, arguably, and I would argue, the greatest player to step foot on the basketball court. The greatest basketball player, not the scorer, the greatest basketball player that essentially nobody can stop when he's focused and when he wants to. And when he wanted to make history against them, he did.
It's a kick in the nuts to Golden State, if you know what I mean.
It is. And if I was Michael Jordan, I would be thanking him. They won 72, right?
Yeah.
And they won a championship.
Yeah.
So that's why that Bulls team is probably one of the best teams ever. Kind of like what when everybody loses a game in the NFL, the 72 Dolphins, crack open the champagne. So, yeah, I mean, it's individual awards are a byproduct of a team. There's some players that are just so individually talented. Pryce happens to be one of them. And he'll be, right up there again next year. And he'll do it again, and he'll be in the, he'll move up. I mean, it's not a knock against him that I don't think he's like top 10, but I say he's top 12. It doesn't really matter after that.
Oh, I mean, it matters if you want people to think you're a hater or not.
Well, once you get over like 40, they think you that anyways.
Fair enough. I was reading about this a little bit there on The Athletic, who did a little 10-year missive on it. And Steve Kerr was asked about it. He says that team will probably forever remain underappreciated.
Yeah.
Because they didn't win the title. And later on here in the article, I think, So Steve Kerr says this, and I don't know, is this true, or is it Steve Kerr just trying to cope with not winning the title? He says, it's funny. I get people who say now in hindsight, do you wish you hadn't gone for the record because maybe the playoff run would have been different? The answer is no. There was no way I was telling any of those guys they weren't playing, but more importantly, I don't think winning 73 had anything to do with us losing in the playoffs. I think we played two great teams with OKC and Cleveland. There's no shame in going to Game 7 of the NBA Finals after winning 73 games. In fact, it's an incredible accomplishment. But what Cleveland did coming back was a phenomenal feat in its own right, so you tip your cap to them.
I mean, that's probably as brutally honest and gut-wrenching for him to say that is the truth. And you go for records because you just never know what can happen after that. So you never stop. You never back away from making history. So it's good that they did that. And he's probably right. It is underappreciated. It's no different since, we're here in the arena talking about underappreciated teams. Everybody talks about the 09 defense, right? It wasn't, I'll just be honest, it wasn't comparable to when we played. But in the era of the new age of Nebraska football, that's the defense everybody talks about, right? But they didn't really have a good offense. That's an underappreciated defense and team because they weren't able to get over the hump.
Yeah.
Just no different than Golden State. Be quite honest with you, if you thought like 95's team was probably, obviously one of the greatest of all time. When you compare 96 to 97, that 96 team was just as talented or just as almost as talented as 95. But we just didn't have that one. We had that one missing ingredient that, whether it was everybody got the flu or whatever, there's no excuses. We just couldn't.
You needed Kevin Durant.
Couldn't do it, right? And so, yeah, they're probably underappreciated. There's probably some really good Nebraska teams that are underappreciated. I mean, I think if you look at even Strick's team that won the NIT, it's always what if. What if they decided to get out of their own way just 2 weeks before, right?
Yeah.
Because when they really turned it around, they had a team meeting and they was like, all right, we lost enough. This is embarrassing. Let's actually start working together. Let's just say they did it 2 weeks before. Two weeks before. It's probably 3 or 4 more wins. They're not in the NIT. They're in the big tournament. And say they get a win. So that changes the whole legacy of how you maybe view some of those players in the history of Nebraska. That's why this year was such a great year. Not only did they make the tournament and made the tournament by almost the turn of the new year, is they got to the tournament and won 2 games. And then left the tournament feeling that they should have won another one. So
and could have had a chance in the next one.
And so they reset the bar, the true standard around here. Not what ifs, just what the walk-in to the basketball facility is now changed forever at Nebraska.
Well, from what if to what's next.
Yeah. What's next? And this is what you have to do. There is no should we do it because we don't know. We've never won around here. Oh, you can tell us all about this, but you've never won a tournament game. Well, we made history. We doubled down on history, and now we've reset the bar and the standard, the kind of the must-haves. I say you just have to. These are non-negotiables over there. Whatever Fred and them have, they got to do. They got to jump into it. That's why they're able to go and potentially recruit guys they want and have a seamless introduction to their program.
We'll keep you updated on Nebraska men's basketball in the transfer portal as
we need to get in the
stuff
portal.
breaks. Trevin Leonhardt.
You need to go to Detroit,
Would
Minneapolis.
Would you like to be the ambassador to the Great Lakes region?
I will. I like Detroit.
You take 6 figures to pull you in, or you do it for mid-5s?
Just look, man. Just travel expenses. Couple, just give me a little envelope. That's cool.
Okay.
Just buy me a little new driver.
All right.
So, yeah.
Fred Hoiberg offer stands.
Yeah.
Before we go to break, though, Mississippi Mud Dog says that means that 10 years ago today was the Mambas' last game. That was such a bigger story on that night, which is funny to say when you look at NBA history. But in that exact same article from The Athletic, Jay, they obviously talked to Steph Curry for this as well. He says, I was kind of mad because I wanted to watch Kobe's last game. We knew what was at stake with the 73rd win, but I wanted to watch. I really wanted to watch Kobe's last game. Then when I got out, I heard what happened on the other side. I was excited, but also as a for the 73rd win, but also as a basketball fan, I felt like I got gypped at the same time.
Hey, I'm going to tell you what, man. It's I was blessed enough I didn't see their last game, but I remember when Jordan played for the Wizards, and you kind of knew this was it. And it was me, Jamal, my man Kenny, we call him Kenny Williams, we call him K-Dub, and Sam Bam. We all said, you know what? They got off work, and I said, we're going to watch. And he performed like
like his airness.
Right. So it was in Houston, and the Rockets were playing the Lakers. Kobe's last time coming through Houston, same thing. So when you get a chance to watch greatness, this is what I'm saying for Steph Curry. He probably you never think an NBA player wants to watch another NBA player's last game. You do, and to watch him play, you just like, all right, I witnessed the last time you see greatness. And so it put a little bit of damper on him because Kobe not only played his last game, he went out like Kobe would go out with 60. You know,
60 on 50.
Yeah. So it's you're part of history, but maybe that was probably part of the 73 wins or like that, if they didn't get all their just due, that's probably why they weren't able to get over the hump. And it was just kind of a afterthought, unfortunately, for them.
Rory McIlroy got over the hump, then tried to roll right back down the hill, but couldn't do it. Rory
tried his hardest, didn't he?
He tried to lose, but he snatched victory from the jaws of defeat yet again. Let's talk about Rory's back-to-back triumphs at Augusta next.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for something different for lunch or dinner in Lincoln? Big 8 is now open at 1226 P Street, serving seafood boils and Asian cuisine. Get your hands messy with fresh, flavorful seafood boils, hot, cold, and made to share. Or enjoy classic Chinese and Asian dishes, perfect for lunch, dinner, or a night out with friends and family. Big flavors, generous portions, and a brand new dining experience. Big 8, now open in Lincoln.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, buddy, here we go. Just keep your eye on the ball. All right, just swing right through it. Yeah, good job. Way to go. Hey, run it out. okay.
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
Zach Bryan with Heaven on Tour.
Poison myself again. Something in the orange tells me you'll never come.
Saturday, April 25th, Memorial Stadium.
Wish I didn't, but I do.
With special guests, Kings of Leon and J.R. Carroll. Tickets are on sale now at ZachBryan.com. Don't miss Zach Bryan live.
Want to make the easy call? Call John Henry's. From leaky pipes to a broken AC, flickering lights to furnace fights, even drains and duct cleaning, we've got it handled. Plumbing, heating, air, and electrical, all under one trusted roof. Proudly serving homes across Lincoln, Omaha, and surrounding areas, and ready 24/7. Visit calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at SartorHeyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get 1 half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town. If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Looking for something fun tonight? Axe throwing, local beer, and great vibes are waiting at Arbor Axe House. From casual nights out to celebrations and team events, it all starts here. Reserve a lane today at arbораxe.com. Arbor Axe House at the corner of N Street and Antelope Valley.
When something breaks, you want someone you can trust to fix it right. Empire Repair is now open in Waverly and ready to serve our community with reliable auto repair and maintenance. From routine service to bigger repairs, our team is here to keep you on the road. Stop by Empire Repair in Waverly or call 402-786-2224 to schedule your service today. Empire Repair, proud to serve Waverly.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It is Old School on the Ticket. Off Norman J. Foreman with you. Big thanks to Schwezo Construction for helping sponsor the show. At Schwezo, safety isn't just a policy, it's a promise. Schwezo is hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back both on and off the job site. Apply today at Schwezo.com. 40 years strong in business, Schwezo Construction. Thanks, everyone, for your great comments and conversation here as we've discussed some Nebraska men's basketball. We're going to turn our attention now to the Masters. Jay, Rory did it again. He tried hard not to. Yeah. He wanted to give it to Cameron Young. He wanted to give it to Justin Rose. Shoot, he tried to give it to Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, he did.
But he couldn't. Generous as he was feeling, he couldn't give it away. Rory gets it done. Back-to-back champion at Augusta for the first time since Tiger.
Yeah, I don't think that he was trying to do it. I think that, he Well, it's crazy because the first round he'll tell you that I wouldn't say he got lucky to shoot 5 under, but he chipped in and all that, or pitched in and all that, and his driver was not on,
not driving,
right, driving, and so he kind of made the most out of that round, and then he really turned it on. That second round was 12 under, so he thought, and Roy's known to when he's feeling good, and he's known to run away with it, and then all of a sudden Saturday came. Now, I don't know if it was too much red wine and or just nerves get to him. I think the Masters means so much to the players. You can really, it's kind of almost like at the Super Bowl and say you're up by, well, heck, look at the Atlanta Falcons up 28-3.
Yeah.
And he's like, how, with no way we can lose. And you start kind of playing not to lose versus to win. And the conditions are a little bit, harder on Saturday, kind of scraped it around. Scheffler played good. Cameron Young played excellent. So that every player in that top 10 is generally going to have a round. And how close they are can put a little bit more pressure on you.
Well, for Rory, it was Friday.
Yeah.
For Scheffler, it was Saturday.
Right.
Hatton had 66s on Friday and Sunday, but 74 and 72. Henley made a run at it. Rose was Mr. Consistent. He didn't really have the round.
He didn't have that round, right. You got to make putts. You got to get a little bit of lucky. You got to think when Cameron Young, I think he shot 7 under on Saturday, right? Got 7 under?
Yeah.
Yep. He hit the trees 3 times and they both landed in the fairway. So these guys are so good. Once you get in the fairway, they're going to hit on the green versus if you're in the woods, that's potentially for a bogey. And, but then Rory showed some guts, man. I mean, he started off Sunday. It was like, then birdied the first hole. Then he got on the par 3, double bogey, looked just like every one of us out there, and lost the lead. And then for the next, let me see, that would be the 3rd, 4th hole. So for like 12 or 16 or 14 more holes, or no, not 14, but 12 more holes, he goes 14 under.
Yeah.
To have a 2-shot lead going into the 18. Because Scheffler kind of ran out of gas. Henley ran out of gas a little bit early in the round. So nobody was able to kind of really run away with it. And he kept making shots. And then
Scotty had a chance there on 17.
He had a chance on 17. He had a better chance on 18. He kind of flubbed a iron shot that he normally, with his eyes closed, hits it up there close and makes it and puts a ton of pressure on Rory. And if he would have done that in birdie, they're still, they're going to extra holes. But
Rory did win last year.
Yeah, he did. He went, but
that's the specter of Scotty Scheffler.
Scotty Scheffler. And if Scheffler's playing good down the stretch, the advantage goes to Scotty Scheffler. And then Rory had a 2-shot lead and hit it. They said that was the worst drive that anybody's ever seen him hit. He hit it so bad he was able to hit from the 10th kind of rough and hit a big hook shot into the sand.
Yeah,
and that just shows you how good he is, and what he was able to do. He didn't drive it as bad as it looked on TV, because I know he was on Saturday when everybody thought he drove it bad. He was 3rd in strokes gain with the driver, so that means he was just probably hitting it so far and able to kind of scrape it around and keep the round together. But ultimately, the hard thing for a lot of golfers, from what they say, is to win the Masters back-to-back. There's only 4 other guys that have done it. It's Tiger, Jack, Rory,
and Faldo.
And Faldo, and that's it, right? And he's making history every time he wins at Augusta. He's won the Grand Slam and then go back-to-back. And let's see if he can keep his focus for the other 4 majors, because he kind of went in the tank last year, and let's see if he has more longevity as far as focus was.
Well, I mean, you look at what Rory did, starting his career off as hot as he did, then to go 10 years between major wins, and racked up plenty of wins on the tour anyways, but we remember the majors winners. So for him to get the Grand Slam, like you said, at Augusta, then go back-to-back with some drama, right? The Rory McIlroy way. I thought this was interesting. A guy by the name of James Colgan, who writes for golf.com, says Jack Nicklaus, 1975, 5-shot leader through 36, falls 6 shots during a Saturday 73, regroups to outlast the legendary leaderboard, wins by 1 at 12 under. Rory, 6-shot lead through 36, dropped 6 shots back to the pack, regrouped, outlasted that leaderboard to win by 1 at 12 under as well. Think about this, though, for Scotty Scheffler, Jay. No double bogeys. No one's made fewer bogeys than Scotty Scheffler, not won the Masters. Scotty's playing partner went 8 over in 2 different holes throughout the course of the day. And of course, the timing, right, came up. And I thought Scotty handled that really well with the watering situation and all that. He said it's an outdoor sport. You just got to play through it or whatever. It's just a good reminder that every round matters, right? You notice the rust from Scotty on Saturday. Friday, he was fine, not elite, but just kind of hung in there. A Saturday 74, but for him to make that charge, I saw Scotty creeping up that leaderboard. He's right there. Okay, is he going to do it? Is this where Rory's going to, have another Rory McIlroy moment, the old Rory? But no, like you said, Scotty ran out of gas. The Friday and Saturday rounds held him back just enough, and Rory had done just enough, shooting probably the 2 rounds of his life at Augusta to get that big lead, and he needed every single shot.
Yeah, I think the difference between him and I think it was 2016 when he had the same type of lead and got on number 10 and commenced to hit it in that backyard over there to the left of that big white house. And that was going to be his first Masters. So the scar tissue that he had, for years up until last year, probably is why it was still kind of there. But I think he showed a little bit more guts than he's probably shown at times. A lot more focused, a lot more driven. And, he kind of has reshaped his career here. I mean, I think, Tiger being so dominant, and anytime anybody wins like 3 or 4 majors, they're like, oh, he's the next Tiger. There's nobody ever going to be like that, right? It's Tiger and Jack and Tiger, whatever you want. But Rory, you can go 10 years and still play good golf. He's won a ton, and he did. But the majors are what, it's kind of like when everybody changed the grading system for like Jordan, and it had to be championships. Right. And it changed his focus too. So it became champion. And he's always been that driven and wanting to win. But his focus changed. The Bulls' focus hasn't changed. Now, that's a team sport. With Rory, you got to think, if coming in shooting low scores, he's done that. Coming in and winning a few majors, he's done that. But then now, with him and his fanfare ever since he being a young kid, his grading system is a lot higher than the normal person that comes in. Because of look, he had a $200 million contract with Nike at a very young age. $200 million, 10 years, but still $20 million a year. He was kind of like the passing of the torch from Tiger to him as far as Nike apparel golf goes. Yeah. And, he's still with him. So, he's kind of growing up right in front of everybody's. He's not even, obviously he's from Ireland. He's dealing with all that and, had some other stuff going on. And so that affects how he's able to, obviously operate as a well thought of and respected golfer, but he seems to now he's kind of getting into the point that every time he tees it up the Masters, he's going to be in the mix. He knows the course better than before. I think he's added some stuff to his game.
And why does he know the course better than ever before?
Because he's seen every part of the course, right?
Intimately.
But then also everybody made a big deal about him going and playing practice rounds.
Good for him.
And everybody else can.
Perks of being a winner.
But everybody else, once you're invited, once you get that invitation, you can go.
Yeah.
You just got to call. Rory decided not to play for 3 weeks leading up to it because he was practicing. I mean, he mentioned he was able to go play at Augusta, drop his kid off at school, play Augusta, be home in time for dinner. Now, not everybody has a plane that you're ready, but
no one else decided to make a weekend out of it.
Nobody decided to make a sacrifice to do that. In order to win championships, you got to sacrifice something. He sacrificed going and playing in some tournaments that he normally would play in because he knew that winning Augusta and showing well in Augusta was a big deal to him.
Well, especially to prove that last year wasn't a fluke.
Yeah.
Look at Rory. He tried to trick it off.
The whole year.
Sure.
Because he won Augusta and kind of went hybrid. He went into hibernation. But they said that's just kind of like was it Paul McGinley was on the Golf Channel, and he said that's kind of what a little bit of maybe it's like Irishman or something like that. He called it. He had a name for it where you kind of get ramped up. When you get ramped up, you're there, but then once you kind of go into hibernation, you're kind of there. So that's what Rory did last year, and he had a lot of pressure on him with the whole being the spokesman for the PGA Tour and versus Live, and that kind of wore him out a little bit. And probably put a lot of pressure on his personal life, and he's able to kind of recover through that. So it looks like he's in a better place. And if he's able to scramble like that when he's hitting you better hope he don't start driving the ball, straight.
Right.
Because he normally does. That's his weapon, man. I mean, he hit that one shot, that drive on number 15. He hit it. Everybody else was hitting it 300 yards. He hit it 353 yards in the fairway.
Yeah.
Every other time had been in the woods. But Austin, as much as we given Rory McIlroy, we're gonna give him 100% credit. I have a conspiracy here.
Oh no! Okay.
And it has to deal with Rory McIlroy. Let me tell you something. He's got a little bit more, look, he only 5'10", 160. He got a little bit more stuff to him than people give him credit for.
He took strict spices. He's all spiced up.
Yeah, he would take strict spices and then serve it to him at the champions dinner and then ask you how does it taste. That seems like look, when he was with Bryson DeChambeau last year, he was upset because Rory wouldn't talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
Just mind games, right? Cam Young, who they're close, they're friends.
Yeah.
Or,
friendly.
Look, when you're competing like that, what do you need? Tiger didn't. Remember when Tony Finau thought he was going to talk to Tiger? Tiger is right. So Roy didn't talk to him. But the biggest conspiracy is this.
Oh.
It's not the watering of the greens that got Scotty Scheffler, right? One of Rory's best friends is a guy named Hung Tu Lee, who was 9 under, teed off with Scotty Scheffler, but commenced to go shoot 5 over. He shot a 10 on a par 5 when he was still in contention.
Mm-hmm.
And then he backed it up with a 3 over. So he was 8 over in 2 holes. Threw off the rhythm, I think, of Scotty Scheffler. Putted the ball off the green on the 15th green. One of Roy's best friends was playing, say, you know what you need to do, right? You know what you need to do today is you need to get in his way of trying to make a run. That's, I think, a conspiracy.
That's also just been that guy's career.
I know.
I
just like to drop it. I know
it would be incredible if it was.
I know he didn't do it. That's just who that guy is.
Mm-hmm.
He'll go really deep, and then he hit his 5th shot from the woods.
Straight from the woods. Yeah.
He looked like all those people in there. He was one of them.
Yeah. One of us.
He's in there. We're the Hot Wings challenge. Look at us. We're over here in the woods.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, who would have thought? The best part was when he putted it off the green, though.
Woo!
And then Scheffler was still lining up his putt.
Wait for it to stop. It
wasn't on purpose. But yeah, Rory McIlroy, I mean, this is what you want, right? You want some sort of rivalry going. You got Cam Young that's trying to get over the hump. You got Scotty Scheffler, of course, who's dealing with just had a new baby. So he's kind of got to manage that. Then you got Rory trying to, manage all the stuff he's got going and the 2 best in the world. And then you got Justin Rose. You just never know who's going to pop up now.
First 1-2 finish for World 1 and 2 at a major since
Tiger and Phil
did it at the
was it Pebble Beach? Not Pebble Beach, but Torrey Pines.
2002 U.S. Open.
Yeah, Torrey Pines, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tiger walked the dog on him too.
Man, Tiger did that a lot back in the day. A couple other things, then we'll take our final break of hour 2. Rory McIlroy now tied for 8th in terms of players with the most majors of the Masters era. Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, Ben Hogan, Tom Watson, Arnold Palmer, Gary Player, Sam Snead.
And Nick Faldo?
Didn't more than 6.
Oh, okay. I got
so the only people with more. So Faldo might have gotten 6, but Rory's there.
How many majors does Roy have? 5?
Rory's got 6.
Oh, he does have 6.
Yep.
I thought he had 5.
I think I got rid of that tweet. Shoot. I can look it up again later. Rory passed Faldo for best Euro golfer.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Comfortably?
Yeah, Nick Faldo ain't happy about that.
Nah. No, he's really not. And then Jay, the health data. Did you see that? They're putting Rory's personal business out there.
Yeah,
which I'm sure it's permission, the whoop thing.
Yeah.
So Rory's heart rate during that, if you want to call it a tee shot on 18, 135.
I wish they had the thing on the sphincter muscle. Oh my God! Listen.
Pause.
Oh my God! I mean,
super pause.
Austin.
Too much spice.
No,
too much spice.
Austin,
no, you can't say that. You can't say that. I wish they had that thing on his sphincter muscle.
No, I didn't say on his sphincter muscle.
That's what you said.
I said a meter, like you could test, like it's like level 5, or like your sphincter muscle. I didn't mean that. I mean a whoop on there. That's how you took it.
That's what you said.
That's not what I meant.
Rory dropped his heart rate by 14 beats per minute on his approach shot, and then got it to 105 during his putt.
And then it went up to like 135.
150.
The
celebration.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that 180, but the only reason I'm saying it is just that look on his face. is like, I know, I don't know, but I could only imagine. What did I just do? What happened? Because that's an out of body experience for him.
Oh yeah.
He's never hit a shot like that. That's an everyday guy. If you put an amateur up there, like a really good amateur, so just say he was like a 4 or low handicap, with all those people lined up, and you got to hit it. That's what a really, really good golfer walking around Lincoln would hit over there. You know, when I told you about Johnson Wagner on number 1, that's how he hit his first shot. Because he was so nervous, and he's a professional.
Yeah.
So Rory's probably thinking, I'm leading the Masters by 2. I know he's probably thinking like,
you're thinking, don't mess up, crap.
I messed up. Then he's probably walking over there like, if I don't win this Masters, I got to listen to Nick Fall. I got to do all this. I got to listen to Stephen A. Smith. And then he got the luck of the Irish that he was able to hit a huge hook shot up there into the bunker with his whoop rating at 115.
But it wasn't around his unit.
No.
So Rory took 24,000 steps on Sunday, 91,000.
How many miles is that?
I don't know how many miles, but here's the question. So 24,000 on Sunday. If you multiply 24 times 4, you get 96. So Rory cut some steps somewhere. Like, I'd be curious to know, which day did he take fewer steps, or did he take more steps on Sunday just going after that shot on 18? Just nervous pacing. I can't lose it. Come on, Rory, lock it in. I got to get it. Come on. Like, this is what you were saying.
The way that he was hitting his driver, he probably had a little bit more steps than he normally. But you also got to think he had at least a day or two of practice rounds. I wonder how many miles.
Well, this just said during the tournament.
Okay, so 96, yeah. I mean,
nervous pacing when he wakes up on Sunday, and more steps into the approach at the driving range and putting green. I don't know.
And that's a hilly course too, man. That's a serious workout.
Someone mentioned that here. Mark said, I appreciated, Jay, your description of Augusta last week. Roy, you talked about how big the property was with so much undulation. And Mark says, yeah, it looks like that tee box on 18 isn't even 50 feet wide.
No. It doesn't give any justice. I think they had the guy that had that all-time picture of Tiger Woods that was on Sports Illustrated. They talked about how he had a camera that didn't have any noise, so they allowed him to take that. That doesn't even do it any justice.
Not till you're there?
Not till you're there. And then you got to walk. That's what it would be like. Dang, not only do I got to walk way up this hill, I got to walk through the pine straws over here. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can't even say it now because you got your boy. Look, you got disc golf Jake killing me right now. Who they Trav? You know what I'm saying?
Sean and DeWitt.
No, hey, do not clip that. Clip the Spices one with Strick.
I already got a mutual friend of ours on the Spices clip.
Oh, on
don't say it. Yep,
yeah.
I got a mutual friend on
all
it, so it'll be making the rounds.
Do not let that clip get in Nick Stainer's hands, because anytime I've been messed up, he's got it. It will end up in a text message about midnight.
Right there in the thread.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go to break and wrap up hour 2 in a sec.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Looking for something fun tonight? Axe throwing, local beer, and great vibes are waiting at Arbor Axe House. From casual nights out to celebrations and team events, it all starts here. Reserve a lane today at arboraxe.com. Arbor Axe House at the corner of N Street and Antelope Valley.
You started your business to build something special. Now it's time to grow and protect it. At Pinnacle Bank, our treasury management services help you do just that. Through smarter payment technology, account administration, and fraud protection. So no matter the size of your business, you can get the most out of your financial operations. Request your free consultation at pinbank.com/consult. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
Seems like just the other day, I was building my first house. I've seen many changes to our building market in Lincoln. It's been a fun road.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, we hear this a lot where I don't want to live in a cookie cutter home. Well, let's come up with some answers on what we're going to build, where we're going to build it, and what it's going to cost. One thing that we started doing early on was we started building neighborhoods. I'm a firm believer in character in your street and in your neighborhood. I like choice. I like variation. I like maybe something a little bit different in a neighborhood that you don't see in every neighborhood. I think it's great to have choices, its uniqueness, and I think that's what gives a neighborhood character. And I think that's what we've done over the years.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Want to make the easy call? Call John Henry's. From leaky pipes to a broken AC, flickering lights to furnace fights, even drains and duct cleaning, we've got it handled. Plumbing, heating, air, and electrical, all under one trusted roof. Proudly serving homes across Lincoln, Omaha, and surrounding areas, and ready 24/7. Visit calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
And electrical.
Good morning, Breakers. This is Scott Miller from Midwest Bank. When I recently joined Midwest Bank, I was immediately impressed by our exceptional service. My first customer made the switch from a large corporate bank and didn't have to wait in line or call a 1-800 number. We treated him like family. He now visits the bank just to say hello. While other banks go corporate, we stay Nebraska. Visit us at midwest.bank or drop by a branch today. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney location. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And wow, what a great spring it has been here. We've had record sales happening at Koppel. And to show our appreciation, Koppel is giving out employee pricing on select new models. Yes, you heard that right. Employee pricing is happening right now at Koppel on select new models. So please stop on in the store and see the team or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Some rebates to dealer.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
When something breaks, you want someone you can trust to fix it right. Empire Repair is now open in Waverly and ready to serve our community with reliable auto repair and maintenance. From routine service to bigger repairs, our team is here to keep you on the road. Stop by Empire Repair in Waverly or call 402-786-2224 to schedule your service today. Empire Repair, proud to serve Waverly.
When tacos and quesadillas join forces at Amigos, something seriously delicious happens. Quesadilla tacos. Crispy on the outside, gooey on the inside, folded taco style, and stuffed with bold seasoned flavor. It's like your favorite quesadilla and taco teamed up for the ultimate spring fling. With Tex-Mex, chicken, supreme, or steak, Amigos has a quesadilla taco for everyone. So hurry in. This tasty collab is here for a limited time only. Get the ultimate flavor fusion with quesadilla tacos at Amigos. When the weather heats up, cool down with Amigos' new frosted lemonades and limeades. Icy, fruity, and oh so refreshing. Start with a zesty lemonade or limeade base. Then choose blue raz, cherry, or strawberry to create your personalized flavor mix. Amigos tops it all with a swirl of frosty vanilla ice cream. Whether you're soaking up the sun or just need a cool pick-me-up, these frosty delights are summer in a glass. Chill out with a frosted lemonade at Amigos.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Old School. Jay Bada Bing says, hey,
God.
Jay, don't feel bad. The human body has over 60 sphincters, but which one are you talking about, though? We already know the answer to that question, so we're just going to leave it alone.
It wasn't what I said. It was what I meant.
Hear what Jay's trying to say, people.
Yeah,
Now
I
what
was
he
trying
actually
to say.
said. Come on,
You
give the
need
man
a meter on that.
Give the man a break. 402-464-5685. We'll get to that and one other thing before the top of the hour. 2563 says, I'm not a Rory fan, but I did just get back from Augusta. And it was pretty cool to hear the roars from Rory's back nine on Friday. With no phones, you just hear the noise and try to think about what happened as you wait to see them manually flip the scores on the leaderboard.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is that, and you know what, we'll, at the 5 o'clock hour, since we're going to do this, all you guys on the text line, I would like to know, realistically, what you would shoot at the Masters if you got sometimes they do, you can play the U.S. Open the day after.
Mm-hmm.
But being there or any of those big tournaments, and now obviously the Masters is like, it's great. I mean, I'd like to go again at the practice rounds. It'd be hard for me to pay that type of money to go watch a tournament. But, so you're so like scared to do anything wrong. But I said it's just a place that you would literally eat off the ground. And you have to really look. You get a tee off sheet and you have to time it to where they're at to try to find where like Rory's at or Tiger's at.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to go to when they had the U.S. Open at Pinehurst.
Oh,
when
yeah.
Tiger lost to Michael Campbell. Here's the dumbest thing I did before we go to break. So I'm like, I'm going to watch Tiger Woods.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As one does.
Right? Going down to Pinehurst. I'm thinking I'm going to look cool. Like, I got to be dressed clean. So I had my white Air Force Ones on. Well, if you know anything about North Carolina, and I just had moved to North Carolina. If you know anything about North Carolina, it's clay down there. Doesn't go well with white shoes.
No.
Yeah. But Tiger's ex-wife was there and his mom. And man, hey, his bodyguard that he had, he was a big dude. You know he could make some stuff happen. But you had to go 3 or 4 holes ahead, probably like he said from Rory, in order just to get a glimpse of him.
Crowd's that deep?
That deep. And after the break, I'll tell you a funny Tiger Woods story.
Okay.
It's the funniest story against my boy Big Charles, who's a big dude, security dude. It's the funniest thing ever.
Before we get to break really quick, did you know there are more prizes than just the green jacket, the trophy, and the cash from the Masters?
It's the amateur thing, right?
No. Each day, the low score gets a crystal vase.
Really?
You get I'll show you these when I'm done reading the prizes off. Hole in one, you get a large crystal bowl. You get a slightly different large crystal bowl for a double eagle. If you hit an eagle, you get a pair of crystal glasses, like drinking glasses. Scotty Scheffler also ended up with a silver medal and a silver tray. And Rory gets a replica of the trophy made out of sterling silver and a gold medal.
Dang.
So there you go. All right. Jay's question, what would you realistically shoot at the
18
Masters?
18 holes,
18.
counting strokes and everything.
Everything.
Or penalties
and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, 402-464-5685. We'll take your responses in hour 3.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Good morning, Breakers. This is Scott Miller from Midwest Bank. When I recently joined Midwest Bank, I was immediately impressed by our exceptional service. My first customer made the switch from a large corporate bank and didn't have to wait in line or call a 1-800 number. We treated him like family. He now visits the bank just to say hello. While other banks go corporate, we stay Nebraska. Visit us at midwest.bank or drop by a branch today. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get 1 half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
You started your business to build something special. Now it's time to grow and protect it. At Pinnacle Bank, our treasury management services help you do just that. Through smarter payment technology, account administration, and fraud protection. So no matter the size of your business, you can get the most out of your financial operations. Request your free consultation at pinbank.com/consult. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
When something breaks, you want someone you can trust to fix it right. Empire Repair is now open in Waverly and ready to serve our community with reliable auto repair and maintenance. From routine service to bigger repairs, our team is here to keep you on the road. Stop by Empire Repair in Waverly or call 402-786-2224 to schedule your service today. Empire Repair, proud to serve Waverly.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And wow, what a great spring it has been here. We've had record sales happening at Koppel. And to show our appreciation, Koppel is giving out employee pricing on select new models. Yes, you heard that right. Employee pricing is happening right now at Koppel on select new models. So please stop on in the store and see the team or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Some rebates to dealer.
Want to make the easy call? Call John Henry's. From leaky pipes to a broken AC, flickering lights to furnace fights, even drains and duct cleaning, we've got it handled. Plumbing, heating, air, and electrical, all under one trusted roof. Proudly serving homes across Lincoln, Omaha, and surrounding areas and ready 24/7. Visit calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
And electrical.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197. Have you been looking for home technology upgrades but don't know where to turn? Online information can be contradicting and confusing. Lincoln's own experts at Diode Technologies can turn your living room into the place to watch your favorite sports. Whatever your vision is, Diode Tech is ready to make it a reality. From home theaters to outdoor entertainment spaces, they bring you along through the entire process to make sure you get exactly what you want. If you're ready to upgrade your entertainment space, visit Diode Tech online at diodetech.net or give them a call at 402-793-5124.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln, this is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Troy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score. Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black shirts, answer the call one more time.
And Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln, your tire store next door with 4 Lincoln locations. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Hour 3? Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, not the comedy hours.
Not intentionally.
Not intentionally. But you know
stay
what?
tuned.
We
Never
might
know.
we might be on to something, man. We might have to take this show on the road. But we are brought to you by Graham Tire. They have 5 locations here in Lincoln, been in business for 75 years. They will take care of all your tire needs, your car and truck needs, big or small. Look at them, Graham Tire of Lincoln. Great service. They hooked your boy Jay up. I appreciate their timely service, the customer service, and give me a little knowledge on what tires work well in Nebraska, what tires don't work well. Speaking of that, we got the text line blowing up, what they would possibly think they would shoot at if they were able to play Augusta, within I guess a few days of the Masters, to say a week, probably any day really. To be honest with you, it's such a hard course. Before we get to that, I have a funny Tiger Woods story.
Oh yeah.
So, this is when Tiger was at his height, obviously, and so I was living in Charlotte, so one of the PGA Tour stops where I was able. I'll start by the original story. So my agent had a professional golfer named Jonathan Kay, who was on the PGA Tour. So he was coming to Charlotte. So we all knew each other. So he got me inside the ropes, and I was able to meet like Ernie Els and Rory Sabatini and all those guys. And the one guy, he's from Australia. You have to look him up. He got jumped at a strip club in Hawaii and said that he got mugged, but he was at a strip club. I forget it. He's an Aussie, but I met him too. Walked with him. So the Wachovia Open or Wachovia Championship, now it's Wells Fargo. For obvious reasons, Wells Fargo bought the Wachovia. That's the year that Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan played together in the Pro-Am or in the Wednesday Pro-Am, and it was packed.
Man,
and the texter talked about hearing Rory. So that's when that's my first time, obviously, second time experiencing like Tiger Mania. But really, to be honest with you, it was more Jordan Mania. More people were there, as many people that were there to see Tiger. I would say the same amount and more were there to see Jordan. And they were playing together. It was pretty cool to see them. I mean, two iconic figures, worldwide iconic people playing golf.
How much did Michael put down?
What, betting? They had their side action going.
Oh, I bet they did.
They did, yeah. And they probably played tons or whatever. So I watched them tee off on one and tried to catch them here. So it was a bunch of us in Charlotte that went. And I had a good friend of mine named his name is Charles, but we call him Big Charles. Big dude, big old brother. And he was the head of security at Bank of America.
Ooh.
So when you go into the bank, he's there. I mean, he's got this big old deep voice. And Charles, we played golf together.
Chose the right career. So.
Yeah. And he was actually a basketball player. And then, he's big though, man. I mean, he's way bigger than I was. And so he had this deep old voice. And we played, we were all, at that time hacking the ball around or whatever and trying to be whoever we thought we were on the PGA Tour. So we're on 15, which is a par 5. And Tiger's, I think his caddy at the time still was Stevie or whatever. Okay. So Jordan hits it, obviously not as far as Tiger. Jordan hits his down the middle. Tiger hits it past his into the rough. And then Tiger hits his, they both hit onto the green. But Tiger must have planned that he might end up about like 100 yards from the green in the rough. So as they're walking to the green, and that's where you get to see them, because they would be walking close to where it's roped off, where the sidewalk is. Stevie, they had already planned out to put down a couple balls, right? And hit him, right? Hit him on the green. Maybe Tiger was he must have been, I don't know what he was doing, obviously. So, Tiger comes over there and the crowd's there and him and Stevie are talking and, Stevie gives him the yardage and Tiger pulls his club and then he puts it back, pulls another club or whatever. And he pulls down the ball and he says, hey, he asked Stevie, like, what shot you want? Tiger, and Stevie said, the first one I want, faded in there, hit it, 100 some yards or whatever he said to him. So he hits this shot and everybody starts clapping, right? And Tiger puts it back, talks to Stevie. I think either Jordan or somebody else whoever they were playing with was going to hit, right? So then they hit and Tiger was kind of messing around in his bag. And somebody said something to Tiger, good shot. And he's like, said thank you or whatever. And so Charles got this deep voice. And he goes like, hey, Tiger, what wedge, what number wedge you hit that? What wedge you use? I've been working on mine. What wedge you hit? I'll never forget this. Tiger and Stevie, Tiger takes a couple steps forward, looks back at him, looks at his wedge, and he's like, I hit my 55 degree. He's like, oh, okay, I got you. He's like, but that's why I'm in here and you're over there, right? Right?
Of course he did.
Because Big Charles was like, you hit your 55 that long? He's like, Tiger Woods said, That's why I'm in here, and you're over there.
See the two sides of the rope there?
Right. And he's like, oh, you got me, Tiger. You got me. Right. Jordan's laughing. He had a big old stogie. He's laughing. He's laughing with his caddy. Everybody's laughing at Big Charles. He's like, oh, you got me, Tiger. And Tiger, just smiled and took off. It was the funniest thing ever. He's like, hey, what wedge you use right there? He's like, oh, you hit it that far? He's like, that's why I'm in here, and you're over there. Oh yeah. So
Tiger.
Now, before we get to the text, there was I don't know what pro it was, said that if they put amateurs on the green, just start on the green, that they couldn't beat a professional golfer. So say Rory shot 73, his worst round. If you only putted at Augusta, they said you still couldn't beat the pros. That's what they were saying.
Okay, so the amateurs that I'm seeing,
Drew Carr says he's shooting a 70 on the front nine.
So extrapolate that to a 140. Okay.
Yeah. Chubby Rhino says 149, if not higher.
Smiling the whole time.
Unknown texter 7432 says if I'm shooting triple digits at Hillcrest, which is a Hillcrest Country Club here, he says, I'm hitting over 200 at Augusta. I like it. Wear it though. 2563 says I'd sink a solid 2-footer on 18 to break 125.
There's the spirit.
That's the best score so far. Kurt in Northern Kentucky, he says from the tips probably 160. I like that.
Okay, Kurt.
Because you got to hit it long out there.
Yeah.
Because it's maybe not the yardage is long, but you got to hit it uphill. You got to drive some distance. 1627.
He's our Buffalo Wings
winner.
You. So thanks, Kurt.
Hey, Eric. Eric, man. Eric just be coming at me hard.
Pause.
No. Unknown texter.
We just say probably 165, but the big dog is staying in the bag, or it'd be worse.
Well, you gotta bring the big dog out.
You can't not use it.
Yeah.
You can't afford to not use it.
If you can't hit your driver far, you ain't hitting your 3-woods far enough.
No. And you can't just lay it up there necessarily.
No.
You not going step by step.
3578 says he'd shoot 180-ish.
Okay.
Yeah. About what
I would shoot enough shots
break 100.
that the people at Augusta would just take me out behind the scoreboard and shoot me before I could shoot the rest of my round.
They say you need to pick up. You need to pick up the pace.
The number of divots that I would leave, the depth of the divots. Augusta would be done with me long before I was done with Augusta.
Here's a good one. Craig Wolf says that he said he figures he'd shoot 180 because his group picks up after 10.
Fair enough, Craig.
Yeah. I think I could break 100.
I'm not breaking 300.
No.
You have never seen me swing a golf club, and I intend to keep it that way.
Yeah, probably.
I intend to keep it that way. I will drive a cart. I will.
So hold on, let me see. What Hung Tu Lee shot 80, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I ain't breaking 100. I ain't breaking 100. Not even
115.
Maybe if I drive the ball well enough, I could do it.
Okay, so the amateurs that shot the worst posted 81 and 78.
Oh yeah, I'm over 100.
Next amateur was 80 and 75. You had 77 and 76, 74 and 78, 76 and 76.
So they're right at professional level. The problem, you know what the problem is you have to hit the ball straight and off the tee. You could probably like knuckle it up there, but then you got to get it on the green, and then you got to keep it on the green, and then you got to putt
with those hills,
and with those fast greens, they're like 14.
Mm.
And now, how many you need a practice run, right? If you did a cold turkey, you can break.
Oh man!
If you just went cold turkey, it's 10 more strokes.
Yeah. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. Big Bank Hank, local pros who would destroy us shoot 85 to 90.
Yeah.
Believe it.
I'd probably say I shoot like at least 115.
I can see it.
Yeah. 120. And it was
top of the world.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
As long as I got a couple pars, I'd be okay.
One-Eyed Ray, an old coworker of mine, was impressed, and I told him I shot a 68. Less so when he realized it was over 9. Feel that? 62.96. You got to count for 5 putts per hole. That's a lot of putts.
Well, that's what they're saying about one of the pros were saying about, they were asking, Jose Maria Olazabal, they asked him what an amateur would shoot, and he said they wouldn't break 100, and they were saying that if you just put it on the green from wherever, you got to think. So if you did 5 putts per hole,
that's
90.
Yeah.
Let alone if you hit it in the bunker.
Woo.
You see a couple of them bunkers? Boy, yeah. And I think what I don't realize is that it's great to say that, I could shoot 100 or 115. The pressure.
You're at Augusta.
Because they would probably film it.
Oh, wouldn't they have to?
They should do that, though.
Oh, yeah.
And and nothing against Peyton Manning or like Tom Brady. I don't want to see them. I want to see I want to see a couple. I want to see a really good amateur and 2 really good amateurs and a couple of like middle road amateurs, and I want to see them play. Because that's 99% of the people walking the face of the earth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
John that gets off work. I only play once a week, but I used to play high school golf or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a club champion at Hillcrest or whatever. That guy. Or this guy that just thinks he's really that good.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I want to see.
Oh, yeah.
I know Augusta would never let that happen, but,
I mean, if they're letting, McAfee and Kelce's and Kevin Hart in there for
now
par 3s and driving.
But they took a lot of flack for that.
They did.
What'd you think about that?
I think there's room for it if done correctly, because golf does have that reputation. I mean, Augusta especially. A little stodgy, a little closed off. Kind of an inaccessible sport if you really want to get good at it. And so I think opening the sport up for more people to watch it in conjunction even with, TGL being on TV can only help the growth of the game. Now, does golf care about growing on social media? Does it care more about its reputation? It's probably not going anywhere. Like it's kind of a, it's an upper class-ish adjacent.
For sure.
Good,
for sure.
And so
It's an expensive sport.
Right. And I think for the good of golf, even if more people aren't going to play it, more people need to watch it, be interested about it, be talking about it. And then just naturally, the interest in the game will tick up at the local club, local 9-hole, whatever it is. I do think there is something to be said, though, for keeping, quote unquote, sacred spaces sacred. It's probably fine if they're there for the driving contest, the par 3, the hole-in-one contest. That's a little more lighthearted, no harm, no foul. They can be there and watch, but then they have to abide by the same rules, right? I don't want them, checking in as the reporter. Save that for Marty Smith or whatever, You can hang out in the clubhouse, I guess, if you want to, but don't cause a scene. And they're adults. They should know well enough. But I don't think anyone would be interested in actual honest-to-goodness golf coverage from those people. So hang out, give it its visibility on Wednesday, have some fun with it. And then, I mean, come on, it's still the Masters.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think I like what you're saying. If they are all about tradition and all that other stuff, I mean, I think they've kind of loosened up where they kind of pick and choose when they want to do it. I mean, obviously, the news earlier in the week they kicked Mark Calcavecchia out of the, off the grounds. I mean, this dude's a PGA Tour winner, borderline Hall of Fame. He's a major winner, and I think just because he had a cell phone out. Then you get, but then on the flip side, you got. Jason Kelce and during the par 3 contest, obviously the participants are able to take pictures with their families and stuff. So, I mean, I think a little bit of probably who you are and where you're at in the state of your game and what you can bring. I think, for the most part, the Augusta has kind of really opened their gates up to the drive, chip, and putt, which helps grow the game. I'd like to see them probably, where Augusta really, besides Augusta, the Masters, it's not a golf town.
No,
it's not. Mm-mm. It's the old deep down south, if you know what I mean, type of city. But also, I think like what they do at what they used to do at the Tour Championship, they try to grow the game too. Make some concessions for. Having inner city kids being exposed to being out there, teach them the game, kind of like what, they used to do with baseball and stuff like that. So they're able to do something like that. I'm all for it.
But see, I would say the same for any major.
Any major, any golf tournament. I mean, they do a really good job with charity. I think Augusta doesn't have to do that stuff. That's why they're able to sell you, $1.50, ham and cheese sandwich and all that. But I think, with, some of the stuff, the big article that came out that, now you can't really buy practice round tickets. You can't buy tickets from somebody, and people are flying down there and getting turned away because they bought it from, say you win the lottery or whatever. I mean, I think, they can make up they've been able to, it's the same place every year. The aura and the prestige around the tournament has allowed them to kind of be the ruler of all rules when they want to,
Sure.
And, I guess that, they can do it, and as long as they're consistent about it. I mean, I remember a few years ago that, that I don't know if they have women members anymore, but they allow women at least on the premises now. So that's obviously a change of what they were able to do and stuff like that. I just think, I've been a few places where when you walk in and you hear about it being stuffy, I think golf's already stuffy enough.
Yeah.
And as long as you're not coming in there like, acting ignorant, I don't think you should, if you forget to take your hat off or something, that you got to go, you get kicked out or something like that. I think that's
shoot, my bad.
Yeah.
3 strikes and you're out
Right.
policy.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I'm all for it if it grows the game. I think the par 3 contest is kind of a family oriented thing. And so it brings a lot of, it's great television.
Mhm.
So it's probably only going to continue to do more. I don't think it'll ever get to be like Live, where they have like music out there or anything like that. I think it's more just kind of the kickstart before the the big tournament.
Yeah.
So.
It's fun. It is what it is. I think to some degree we have to live with it because Augusta's not going to win it.
Yeah, you ain't going to change. So nothing's going to change. And whoever takes over, as far as, that they always speak, I don't know if he's called the president of the Augusta or whatever he is. They already know it's in the bylaws. You're going to keep it. This is what your job is, and this is how you're going to keep it.
I did think it was funny that guy, Fred Ripley was his name,
Yeah.
was the one that came out and put the jacket on Rory, because you don't get back-to-back winners
Oh,
that
yeah,
much. So
that's
that's one of
right,
those
yeah.
cool traditions. The previous year's winner put the green jacket on the guy the next year. It makes sense that, the president of the club would just be, oh, yeah, here's your jacket or whatever. But wouldn't it been funny if he just, had made Rory walk into it or
come
film
back
in the
out.
dressing room or
Yeah.
whatever, putting it on himself? I don't know.
Yeah, and he's like, well, look like Roy's still in good shape. You don't have to change the measurements. But all the members walk around with the jackets on. So if you remember Augusta, so they're there just so if you have any questions, they'll point you in the right directions. It is an experience, and if you're a golfer and able to go once, I definitely would try to experience it. But we'll take a quick break. We got some more text coming in on what they would shoot. This one here by Starkey is probably an epic one. We'll save that for after the break. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, we'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Have you been looking for home technology upgrades but don't know where to turn? Online information can be contradicting and confusing. Lincoln's own experts at Diode Technologies can turn your living room into the place to watch your favorite sports. Whatever your vision is, Diode Tech is ready to make it a reality. From home theaters to outdoor entertainment spaces, they bring you along through the entire process to make sure you get exactly what you want. If you're ready to upgrade your entertainment space, visit Diode Tech online at diodetech.net or give them a call at 402-793-5124.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln. You started your business to build something special. Now it's time to grow and protect it. At Pinnacle Bank, our treasury management services help you do just that. Through smarter payment technology, account administration, and fraud protection, So, no matter the size of your business, you can get the most out of your financial operations. Request your free consultation at pinbank.com/consult. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Spring is here, and it's time to wake up Judson. Judson Irrigation is eager and ready to get your sprinkler system up and running for the season. Judson's technicians will check for winter damage, adjust your sprinkler heads, and show you how to set your controller for effective sprinkling coverage. The Judson Irrigation team is here for you. Stay safe.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to power your progress, so you can give everything you've got, all for just 1 cent down. Whether you want to get the most out of our best-in-class equipment or go all in with free fitness training, our trainers are ready to help you get stronger than ever before. Take your workout to the next level at Planet Fitness. Join the club today for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal extended to April 16th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Is your air conditioner ready for the hot weather ahead? Get it checked now before you really need it. Call Bryant now to schedule your spring air conditioning service check. No matter what brand equipment you have, Bryant's trained technicians will thoroughly clean, inspect, and test to make sure it's ready to cool efficiently when hot weather hits. Stay cool and comfortable with air conditioning services from Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111 to schedule your AC check. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Are you looking for a place to host company get-togethers, team meetings, or group events? Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the perfect place to host your gathering, with private bays available to meet with clients while you swing the sticks and improve your game. Back Nine Golf offers traditional golf opportunities while also providing fun games and activities for non-traditional golfers on their top-of-the-line full-swing simulators. Learn about their corporate memberships today and gather your favorite groups together at Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln, just off of 14th and Pine Lake Road.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL Weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see partly sunny skies. It'll be breezy and warm. An afternoon high near 85. Tonight, mainly clear skies, continued breeze, the low around 54. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with a light breeze and a high again near 85. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When something breaks, you want someone you can trust to fix it right. Empire Repair is now open in Waverly and ready to serve our community with reliable auto repair and maintenance. From routine service to bigger repairs, our team is here to keep you on the road. Stop by Empire Repair in Waverly or call 402-786-2224 to schedule your service today. Empire Repair, proud to serve Waverly.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, we're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman. Masters recap of Rory and his whoop reading. A little bit of Nebraska basketball celebration since we got Pryce back officially. We need to find Pryce. You know why we need to find Pryce? I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Pryce, you're paying. No, but
how were the Masters ribs, by the way? Did you end up doing the Masters ribs?
I did not. I didn't do the Masters ribs. You want to know why I didn't do the Masters ribs?
Because you did something better?
No, it was too windy.
Oh.
And I got lazy. It just
All right.
I was suspect at best.
We'll let y'all flick this one time.
But I'll get back into it.
I know you will.
I'll get back into it. But we got another text message here about what he would shoot at the at Augusta after the Masters. Starkey and Bennett says, I once shot 150 at Woodland Hills, and it took me nearly 5 hours. It was like a real life escape room in my own hell. No pace of play. It would take me about 3 days, 2 sets of golf clubs, and 100 balls to get through Augusta if I had to walk it. ... Because
does Augusta even have a cart path?
No. That's also texters. Text in if you're adding strokes if you have to walk. That does play into a factor into it.
Actual physical toll.
Yeah. I mean, I've walked Augusta. It's 7 and something miles. You talking about your dogs barking? Woof, woof. They was barking. They was barking. Listen, you remember when they had the Senior Open up here in Omaha?
Mm-hmm.
And Colin Montgomery couldn't walk up the hill?
Yeah.
I went because Chris Brown was up there and he was doing something up there. So we went and met him up there. I remember Colin Montgomery, his caddy put a club down and was pulling him up. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was hot.
I bet.
Right.
Yeah.
So just imagine if it's hot in Augusta, say it's like 80, 90 degrees.
Swampy.
All them trees, allergies kicking up. Oh,
Achoo.
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't. That's at least 10 to 12 more strokes.
Man.
Yeah, I'm up to 130, 35.
From 115?
No, I wouldn't shoot no more than 115. Especially if my mind was right.
Right.
Yeah.
For whatever means necessary.
Because you definitely ain't going to making the turn and getting no drinks.
Nope.
You drinking nothing but water and Gatorade. You better have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Hydration station.
Yeah. Unknown texter 5025 said, would you win the Masters if you started on the green 50 feet away on every hole? So, I mean, I'd have to shoot. So what did Rory end up shooting?
Let's see here. Rory ended up at 12 under, so 72 times 4.
So you would have to shoot
like 68.
You'd have to shoot 3 or 4 under every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do that.
Rory shot at 276.
Yeah. And I'd be happy about it too.
I'd
be a
Masters wins a Masters win.
Bo Lever said, he's in the funny meme in there. He said, if I can Caddyshack it and toss down some balls, I would be fine. Yeah, I can see that. Little foot wedge.
Yeah.
Go over, look for your ball. You have a hole in your pocket. There it is. You've been here waiting here, man. You didn't see it?
It was right here the whole time.
Look at it the whole time.
The leaf was covering it up.
Yeah.
Which would not happen at Augusta, obviously. But
yeah, and you better hope it's not windy down there.
Oof.
Or rain.
Well, did you hear Rory's story about waiting for his tee shot? What was it, 12?
No.
Well, I think he was talking with someone, some former winner or whatever. Maybe it's Jack Nicklaus. I don't know. But Rory said he got some advice that said the wind.
From Jack.
Yeah. On 12, I think it was, wait for the wind. You'll know it when you feel it. And so Rory just had his caddy kind of stand in, measure, do all the rigmarole. Caddy tossed some grass. Finally, okay, it's time. Rory steps up, whacks it perfectly.
Yeah.
One of those things that, again, practicing that hole, knowing these people, getting that information, I would think there's some sort of like pace of play thing that would come in at some point. Because if you're just waiting around for the wind to change, you could be waiting all day. But there must be something in the wind pattern that these elite top tier guys pick up on and say, just wait it out, take your time. Then you'll know, you'll sense the wind, you'll see it with the grass, and then you go.
Yeah, Rory's playing in the last group, so you don't ever have to worry about pace of play.
Sure.
Usually he's there. And then number 2, being down there, and I remember actually I went to Augusta with Jay Gates once, and we were down there. We went from 11 to 12, so it's like in this like little cove. So and it's kind of below 13. So the wind, they hit the ball high. So. And they're probably trying to land it like within 5 or 10 feet, which would, again, as an amateur, is not happening unless you get lucky. So that's why they're so worried about the wind. As we've seen with Jordan Spieth, and what's the dude, Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
When he
Molinari.
was, when he was like, I can play with Tiger Woods, and then he went over there and dropped like 3 in the water. You ain't heard from him since. So that's where 12 is. And then, you got hit over water on like 15 and 13. The little water that they have on that course, it plays 16 too. It plays a big deal. And
I even need my golf ball to turn into Jesus to walk on that
those
water.
guys hit the ball so good. They're trying to hit the perfect shot. Whereas like I was just trying to get it over the water. I'll deal with my ramifications afterwards. I just want to hit it over the water.
Would you be good at the skipping the ball across the water?
On purpose?
Yeah.
Well, here's the problem. With not on purpose, I'm excellent at it. I've done that plenty.
Like actually skipping it over onto the next green?
I've hit some
Because into the water, trust me, I could do that too.
I've hit some ankle high shots. I could maybe do it. I've seen it. It's pretty cool when they do it. I saw Fred Couples and Tiger do it. It's pretty cool when they do it.
The first time I had my eyes open, that was the John Rahm one.
Yeah.
Yeah, back
it's
in
pretty
the day.
cool when those guys can do. The one thing that's different is when you hear a professional hit the golf ball, or even now, like some of these kids in college, like, it's a lot. It sounds a little bit different.
Sounds different.
Yeah. It doesn't.
The closest thing I can come to that is baseball batting practice.
It's the same. It's the same thing.
It's different.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember talking to my old neighbor was Johnson Wagner. And I was, he was a professional, and him and Brendan. And so we'd be, hanging out drinking beers. And so, ask him about Tiger. He's like, listen, when you walk down the range, there's one sound that's different. And that's him. And so, when you're professional, it's no different than if you go to football practice, right? Versus a high school practice. The violence and the sound of the pads is just a little bit different. It's no different than, any other sport. I mean, I don't know how you compare it to basketball. Just probably just watching them shoot and out when the ball doesn't even make the net move, probably versus you see a lot of different type of makes in high school and in college.
Right.
Yeah.
And football is probably the toughest comp for that.
You
see a guy run, see a guy move. I guess he looks different, but hits different maybe, but you can't really hear that unless you're down on the sideline during the game.
I think football, like if you're down on the ground level and you go from college to the pros or high school to college to pros, you don't realize how fast these humans are and the rate of speed that they're moving. You know what I mean?
TV clearly doesn't do it justice.
Does not do any justice. Just like TV doesn't do any justice of, like I mentioned, Steph Curry being a legit 6'3". He looks like he's 5'10" out there. You know what I mean? Versus you don't really realize how big Shaq is until I met him. You know what I mean? How big Kevin Willis is, in like big.
Yeah,
how big they are.
Yeah.
And those guys, and then whether it's even here, like Sam Greasel is a big dude. He could play a tight end. Frager could play tight end. If played football, defensive end or whatever. There's some big guys out there moving. They got a lot of grace, and that's no different than on the golf course.
I think from my impressions of Braden Frager, he would fit in very well with the discussion we were having about trash talk from Friday.
Oh, Frager?
Yeah. Man would not skip a beat talking some trash on an NFL football field.
No, I think he fit right in. I think he fit right. I think he might just do it just on GP, just right off the rip.
Well, I'm here, so I got
yeah. Just
let's
part,
stir it up.
I think it's just part of his game.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you doing? I'm Braden. Now, welcome to my world. Yeah, I think Hey man, I told him one time. I said, "Hey man, it's great you want to go play basketball and stuff, but man, you could be first round pick." He looked at me like, "I'm going to play basketball." I was like, "Okay." I said, "You could be a first." I mean, to be that, like at that time when he just was only playing a little bit, he could play, man. But obviously he's doing really well right now, and potentially if he keeps going, he can go play professional too. So, we got a couple texts here before we go to break. Kip says, D Wade said LeBron's shoe size 16 sounded different coming down the court. Yes, that is. I will tell you this, man. LeBron James, they said they did he ran a 40 and ran like a 4.34 40 at 260 some pounds. And he was all state in football.
Oh yeah.
And so and being a legit 6'8", 260 or whatever he is, that's a problem. Now I've met Michael Jordan before. and safe to say, I got some pretty big hands. Yo, his hands like engulfed my hands.
Man.
And I didn't realize how big, like.
People say that about Kawhi, too.
Yeah. Like, bad, like, because remember when Jordan do all that but with Jordan, you don't realize how, like, big of a man he is. Like, long arms, big, broad shoulders. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a big dude.
Yeah.
And doing this. I mean, just imagine him, like Vernon Maxwell always said, when you see the bottom of his shoes, just imagine, and I'm sure he had a 40-some inch vertical.
Oh, yeah.
At a legit 6'6", 6'7".
Mm-hmm.
Strong. Yeah, it'd be, and I can only imagine LeBron and like Bird. And Bird's what, 6', he was what, 6'8",
I think, yeah.
Yeah, and then Kevin Durant. I mean,
yeah.
I don't think TV does any athlete any justice.
It's been nice covering Nebraska basketball. Y'all can thank me for their success later, by the way. As soon as I get a credential, they start winning, but that's a story for another time. Because that even comes to mind, right? Like Pryce Sandfort, same kind of thing. Rink mass, like undersized, big man, but no, Rink's big.
Yeah,
that's a big human being.
Yeah,
Sam Hoiberg, right? Look how rocked up. Sam's got some muscle to him.
Yeah.
He's strapped up.
I remember when he was in there, I was like, man, you can play safety.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Get in the little box safety.
Sam, nickel. Sam at nickel.
You got some LG. Yeah, you got a little quickness to him.
He does. What I'm saying. Yeah.
Never know.
Not too late.
Yeah. You got one text before we go to break. Starkey and Bennett he said he'd take a cheap sandwich to sit and watch, but there's no way I'm playing or caddying the entire course without a trip to the without the ER. He said, back to my Woodland Hills nightmare. This is awesome. This is the dude that we need to have a YouTube of him playing Augusta. He said, back to my Woodland Hills nightmare. I can only imagine taking a ricochet ball off a tree to the groin. Did that happen at Woodland Hills?
At least it didn't get sphincter muscle.
Yeah.
Might still be in there.
I'll tell you one quick story. The first time I ever played golf, right? It was like, I think it was in like my 6th year in the NFL. And all my friends had gone on to careers and they were playing golf when we were back in Minnesota. So we went out to this course in Orono, kind of like a wide open course. Okay. The first time I ever played, we're on hole 2. And I went to the range before and played like a little like executive course before, but this is my first time on a big course.
Okay.
And so we're on the 2 tee box, and so number 1 goes here, and the green's like to the left of the tee box, but there wasn't any trees out there; it's just wide open.
Okay.
Guess who got hit right in the middle of the back?
Oh no!
Your boy dropped like a sack of potatoes, about to hit, and so this other guy was playing, and it was his first time. The young kid hit a shot, pulled it, hit your boy right dead in the middle of my back, went right down. I was screaming,
Sniper.
Like for Sanford and son, genius, you got me. I'm coming home. Yeah, I was down on the ground.
And you're man enough to admit it.
I got up though. And then he was he was apologizing, but man, it hurt.
I bet.
Yeah. So that was my first time.
Probably piss missile right at you.
Yeah. Oh man, but especially when I wasn't ready for it.
Right. No or anything.
Yeah, no nothing.
Some friends.
Got me.
Man.
All right, man. We're going to take a quick break. Come back. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to power your progress, so you can give everything you've got, all for just 1 cent down. Whether you want to get the most out of our best-in-class equipment or go all in with free fitness training, our trainers are ready to help you get stronger than ever before. Take your workout to the next level at Planet Fitness. Join the club today for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal extended to April 16th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See Club for details.
Are you looking for a place to host company get-togethers, team meetings, or group events? Back 9 Golf in South Lincoln is the perfect place to host your gathering with private bays available to meet with clients while you swing the sticks and improve your game. Back 9 Golf offers traditional golf opportunities while also providing fun games and activities for non-traditional golfers on their top-of-the-line full-swing simulators. Learn about their corporate memberships today and gather your favorite groups together at Back 9 Golf in South Lincoln, just off of 14th and Pine on Lake Road.
It seems like just the other day, I was building my first house. I've seen many changes to our building market in Lincoln. It's been a fun road.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, we hear this a lot where I don't want to live in a cookie cutter home. Well, let's come up with some answers on what we're going to build, where we're going to build it, and what it's going to cost. One thing that we started doing early on was we started building neighborhoods. I'm a firm believer in character in your street and in your neighborhood. I like choice. I like variation. I like maybe something a little bit different in a neighborhood that you don't see in every neighborhood. I think it's great to have choices, its uniqueness, and I think that's what gives a neighborhood character. And I think that's what we've done over the years.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Is your air conditioner ready for the hot weather ahead? Get it checked now before you really need it. Call Bryant now to schedule your spring air conditioning service check. No matter what brand equipment you have, Bryant's trained technicians will thoroughly clean, inspect, and test to make sure it's ready to cool efficiently when hot weather hits. Stay cool and comfortable with air conditioning services from Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111 to schedule your AC check. Bryant, whatever it takes.
When something breaks, you want someone you can trust to fix it right. Empire Repair is now open in Waverly and ready to serve our community with reliable auto repair and maintenance. From routine service to bigger repairs, our team is here to keep you on the road. Stop by Empire Repair in Waverly or call 402-786-2224 to schedule your service today. Empire Repair, proud to serve Waverly.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And wow, what a great spring it has been here. We've had record sales happening at Koppel. And to show our appreciation, Koppel is giving out employee pricing on select new models. Yes, you heard that right. Employee pricing is happening right now at Koppel on select new models. So please stop on in the store and see the team or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Some rebates to dealer.
Spring is here and it's time to wake up Judson. Judson Irrigation is eager and ready to get your sprinkler system up and running for the season. Judson's technicians will check for winter damage, adjust your sprinkler heads, and show you how to set your controller for effective sprinkling coverage. The Judson Irrigation team is here for you. Stay safe.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney location. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Hi, Charlie Stone again, and Andy Goodyear with Honda of Lincoln will be joining me to talk about the Honda Spring event. Andy, I know this is a big event for you. Please tell us all about it.
I want to start out by thanking the Lincoln car buyers for an incredible year in 2025. It's just been announced that Honda of Lincoln is Nebraska's only Honda dealer to earn the prestigious Honda President's Award for 2025.
Wow, that's great, Andy. How many times now have you earned that President's Award?
It's a total of 20 times now, Charlie. The Honda Spring event is truly a big event for us. We have incredible savings on every remaining 2025 and every new 2026. Special low rates, long-term financing, and special lease rates.
Maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman. We are back in line now as we are about to head off to Tournament Ticket weeknights. Have a little bit of correction. I don't think it's verified, though. Texter texted in and said LeBron ran a 4.640 when he got to the Heat. He was running like a 4.443 when he was coming out of high school. I will tell you, Michael Jordan, according to Roy Williams, ran a 4.36 twice because they were running 40s for whatever reason back then.
How much of a difference is there between, for a guy like LeBron, 4.34 versus 4.6? I mean, it's like
None.
2.5 tenths of a second.
Yeah, but once he gets going, when he was like 18 at like 28, LeBron, there was nobody ever that played the game as faster than him.
Mm.
And when he's a locomotive too, and that be that big,
yeah,
that fast, that strong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they said about when he would catch it off the backboard, he had some call that he would tell the guy. Was it Cole? Remember Cole, number 30?
Oh, Norris Cole.
Norris
Yeah.
Cole.
Mm-hmm.
He would give
Cleveland
him
State.
He would give him some like signal, and he would let the dude get out there. And here comes LeBron, beat it up off the backboard. Ask your boy Jason Terry.
Oh, Jet, man, he might still be buried in that floor.
You want to see a dead body? That was.
There's that one, and then there was a DeAndre Jordan on Brandon Knight.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's some interesting NBA stories of Blake Griffin when he got traded to Detroit. He didn't have a no trade clause in his contract, and Ballmer traded him to Detroit. And then remember when he came back to play and Ballmer wanted to shake his hand, Blake Griffin just left because they were talking about Chris Paul and how that stuff and the different owners and player of his stature. No, it's always interesting.
On that similar but different note, Clippers made me think Chris Paul, who found a spot on Mike Malone's post at North Carolina today. Look at all this great player development work that Mike Malone has done. I think he was there for one season as an assistant.
Yeah.
Chris Paul had already been like a 3-time All-Star.
Yeah,
and still being given credit by Carolina.
LeBron too, right?
It's something. Yeah.
Well, you got to do that. You got to dice it up and spice it up. But look, Malone will do great. He got his first transfer portal guy today.
He did.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, he's working fast, and so
Kim English is back on the sideline with Mike Malone.
He's got a pretty interesting staff. You think he's going to get your boy May?
I
Not
don't know.
May, but what's the big dude, man? Not May, but the big
Visar?
Sean May.
Oh, Sean May. Yeah. I don't know. I could see it. I don't know.
He's got to have some sort of Carolina ties.
He's got to have one guy that just ruins everything.
It would be Sean
I need
May.
it.
It would be Sean May.
Would it be Sean May?
It would be Sean May.
All right.
Anyways,
take your word for it.
Appreciate you guys listening in. Hopefully, we all break our thoughts on or our rounds at Augusta. Hopefully, we get a chance. That's all that matters. I'll shoot 500 if I get there. So
just make sure your sphincter muscles loose.
Yeah, and I would not
And keep track of your spices, kids. Keep track of your spices.
And I would not be wearing a whoop or whatever it's called. But for Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, Old School, we'll holler at you tomorrow.
Spring is here, and it's time to wake up Judson. Judson Irrigation is eager and ready to get your sprinkler system up and running for the season. Judson's technicians will check